Yo, hello. I think it is about time we begin, right? I think so. Let's do it. Oh, no, bro. Hello and welcome to today's stream. I'm Professor Bodhi, aka Mr. Bonny John. I am a touch zoomed out. Let's go figure that out. In the meantime, it's because I haven't been on forever. So, exciting news, or simple exciting news. First of all, welcome in, you guys. Always good to see you. I figured out why before, when I had trouble streaming from my iPad to you guys, I'd have some difficulty. It wouldn't display the way that I want to. Here you can see I can zoom in, you can see my gestures. And I'm going to be really, throughout November, it's late October, so come November, it'll be even more so. But like, I want to go more into the nitty gritty, as I was saying, because I'm going to be developing a lot of stuff for purchase and sale at Holiday Matsuri Con here in Central Florida in December. So I'm very excited. I officially bought the table, so I'm good to go there. But yeah, the thing is, whoa! Let me say hi to everyone. Squirrel Cat, hello. Chill Bill, JC Armad is here. Everyone be on your best behavior. Purple _ EXE013, welcome in. Tengu, hello Tay, with the new name. But I want to basically go over a few things. I want to go over, I guess, we'll wait for more people, I think, before I go over a lot. But I want to kind of go over the state of the channel. I mentioned it. Videos, the direction that I'm going to go as far as videos. It's a bunch of things that, that I have to kind of, not even say address, but that I want to just bring up based on things that I have to care about, that I hate to care about, right? Numbers and performance and yada, yada, yada. So between the Ben 10 and the Halloween videos, they didn't perform very well. And there could be any million numbers of reasons. Like, I'm not going to be like, the algorithm's against me or this or that. And there are ways to break it down. Did I engage the viewership? Was there enough viewer retention? Was there enough comments? Was there enough likes? Was there enough whatever? It's all not my cup of tea. So I think moving forward, I'm going to really be a lot more, I think, reserved with video releases and kind of like stay on brand as far as streaming. I do enjoy streaming. The algorithm, yeah, I don't want to be that guy and blame it. I'm not. Conversely, the algorithm picked up, my other video with the 4 artists, Now, granted, they did the heavy lifting, right? They're goats, right? Berg, Jack, and Ron. Um, yeah, the algorithm is a real and living thing. It's not something we can outright blame. It's kind of cringy when artists do that. I get it, don't get me wrong. But while it's not entirely random, there is stuff happening with it that we will never truly understand. Hello, Justin. So that said, as you can see, I'm going to be working on a Pokemon illustration. Here's Aegislash behind my brother, an Infernape, Lucario at the top there. There's going to be a Jolteon down here, Mega Gallade, and at the top, the big boy, Garchomp. So we're going to work on this while we talk like YouTube stuff. I want to hear about a lot of other things. I want to see how you guys have been. I want to see... I love how you tricked everybody on your substitute. Yeah, that one was really, really fun. I had such a blast with those designs. So before I talk about what I want to do with my channel, let's go ahead and talk about, because it's been a while, and I guess that's another thing I want to bring up. The level of effort that I put into these videos, I'm not quite getting the return on investment. And that's not a rant, it's not a vent, maybe it's a combination of both. It's just me chatting with you guys. I put a lot of effort into it, and if it's not, I don't want to say worth it, but if it's not, if the time and energy I'm putting into it is not coming back to me, I want to stick to what I enjoy, which is like streaming and whatnot, right? And maybe there's new avenues of which I can put out. You misspelled Garchomp there. But I dislike Garchomp in little ways because I feel like his design is just missed just a tiny little bit. It could be streamlined in and I've kind of covered what I would personally want to do. But yeah, I kind of want to go, thank you, Ninja, I appreciate it. I really do want to obviously continue making content, but I think the delivery system might be a little different. And we'll see how that works. But again, let's talk about, so do you guys want to go over my Halloween designs for the video on my channel, or do you guys want to talk about Suffocage and Unravenge, who appeared on Ron's collab? I can talk about the design process. I can talk about, any questions you had about the designs. I remember if it was Jack or Ramo, but I like how you said, oh yeah, I wrote a sea shanty. Yeah, I did. I actually was like going back and forth with how I wanted to read out the poem to you guys, which was something I read aloud to you guys weeks before I worked on this. So it was fun to perform it. I really wish Ramo, I see Brioma. Hello, Oni. So yeah, ultimately, that was such a fun episode. I feel like any Pokemon can be changed. They all cater to unique tastes. Maybe the one on your video. Actually, you know what? Let's chill. After you said that, I kind of think I want to do it the other way around. Maybe I'll talk about Unravenge and Suffocage, because there are two versus like the 6 that I made. I did so much for that Halloween video, and that's why like I wish it did a little better, because I spent the whole week, I didn't even stream. I went to sleep super late each night and woke up super early, and in between everything that I was trying to fit and do. Hello, my fellow humans in quotation marks. Hello, Zach. Would it be okay if I did a Halloween Brody Jones? Yeah, I want to see Halloween Bonny John too, but whatever you want, Justin. I always appreciate anything you guys do. Was it Suffocage? It was. Suffocage was the first one. Thank you, Oni. So I'm going to get started on lining. And if you guys got questions about lining, I want this to be, I guess, part of if I am going to really maybe, obviously when I say lean more into streaming, clearly I have been, streaming, I think a majority of my YouTube career more than anything else, right? There we go. I was about to say. Looking at this line quality, this line weight, I don't hate it, but I think I need a little bit more grit. Do you guys see this right here? I think it's looking a little too silky. So we're gonna go into my brush packs over here. And subjectively, Jack has a couple of brushes that I think I'm gonna try. I quite like this one here. It's kind of got that Pokemon kind of, I don't want to say shakiness to it, but kind of got like a more gritty tone, right? So I feel like Brody has to be pressured to dress up. He's like Halloween. He doesn't celebrate with dressing up in costume. I don't think he participates in Halloween. I think there may not even be Halloween in his timeline. I think he's just that creepy, crazy scientist full time in that world, right? Hello, Apple Pie. Love your work. I appreciate it. Thank you. Catching up on Dragon Ball Daima. I want to catch that as well. There's a weird notes like writing or machine writing. Yeah, because I'm writing with this or drawing with this. But there's a weird noise like writing or machine writhing for your attention. Do you guys hear that? Hold on. I got a bunch of my filters on, so it should be able to cover. Hopefully it's not too annoying, chat. But the electric company decided to check the transformer cable, so they cut the power. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, with Hurricane Milton over here, we had gone through like some really annoying power stuff, but you know, we can't complain. Like something is breathing? Oh Lord. That does not sound good. So yeah, I'll just do my line work, but let's talk about both Suffocage and Unravenge. So as far as Suffocage, I had read to you guys. Who here in chat remembers when I read the poem? And in specific, exactly, it's always Halloween for them with the horrors. Exactly. It's a custom. Wow, nice. I've been using the same brush forever. So on occasions when I'm doing more like Pokemon inspired kind of stuff, I'm going to default to this kind of stuff that really gets the job done. So the context for this one, as you guys know, this is a birthday gift for my brother, who I've showed you guys the picture for it. He looks just like this. I'm like so excited and pleased that I got the likeness down. What's an out of cage Pokemon you will never see Bonny Jones use? I'm not familiar with the out of cage terminology, so I'm going to assume it means it's just like unexpected choices. Didn't mean to scare you. I mean, I just want to make sure you guys have a good stream experience. So if the noise is really annoying to the point where it's like unlistenable, let me know and I'll try and take it out or take care of it. So long as enough people kind of notice and hear it, right? So yeah, I started this a while ago, but while we talk Halloween stuff, I want to talk about, things like this, like line work and whatnot. So when I am doing lines, obviously the most important thing is as you're doing this stuff. But speaking of which, he just texted me. What does he say? When it comes to line work, I've never been very good at it. In fact, it's one of my least favorite things. Almost everyone I know does line work better than me in a more traditional sense. The way art is going to unfold for every artist is quite different, right? Like, we're all good at different things. We might be good at line work, we might be good at colors, we might be good at character design, or we might be good at backgrounds, right? So yeah, ideally, in a perfect world, my lines are like really bad. And then the way I fix it is once I get my colors in, I will kind of go back and further clean them up after, wait for it, merging everything. I kind of operate on everything being kind of this singular kind of entity. So, for example, obviously the way we do line work, especially from draft, like any kind of draft sketches and whatnot, is, the draft is exactly that. It's kind of giving us the general idea of where we want to put down these final lines, right? So something that I quite talk about often whenever I do my character designs is adding bounce. Taking a quick break. Nice to see you, Sketch. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Good luck with your studies, of course. Purple writes, the only spiders I'm not scared of are jumping spiders due to those cute, creepy eyes. I gotta agree. Actually, well, I love all spiders. I'm not really bothered by them, but they are very cute. Some only have 2 eyes? Really? So is that... Imagine Mimikyu as a jumping spider. What would you consider good in lining work, says Apple? What are the objectives? Great question. So my objectives is do a decent job. Now, now, again, as much as we can, try and be accurate in our drafts, that's the thing. It's not really the place to be accurate, right? It's the place to kind of gauge how the final is going to eventually look. So even like things like glasses design, I want to like maybe make these lenses a little wider, even though they get back a little further back. In fact, I don't like the way this looks, so I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to kind of shift it over so it doesn't feel as awkwardly short, right? It's these kind of moments that the draft lives for, right? And so my objective is, of course, get to the next stage. The way I work is, I call them like sessions, right? The idea is that I want to finish my work in X amount of sessions. If I go over, say, any more than 4, 5, 6, I've kind of wasted more time than I've cared to. And obviously, there's no such thing as rushing art. There's no such thing as, perfection. But like, we can get pretty damn close, right? When there's timelines involved, right? For example, I didn't stream because I'm telling you, every part of my day was going to editing, setting up all the assets, right? Like in my Halloween video alone, chat, I had to redo so many assets, right? To like make it feel spooky, because if I kept the old ones or certain parts of it, that would kind of pull you out of the world, right? Like that's what immersion is, right? Like when you see horror stuff, you're going to feel more scared and whatnot, right? There we go. So that's something that we can kind of fix outside of, you know what? And then what we'll do, because glasses magnify, we'll make his face kind of zoom out like that just a little bit. We'll make sure that part comes out. But yeah, ultimately, we're always working towards leading up to the next session of design or illustration work, which is, so it works in phases, right? Like drafts, then lines, then flat colors, and then maybe shading. Like everybody does it in different ways, right? Oh, that's cool. Your notification sound. Oh, you heard that, Justin? Good ear. I like to warm up if I'm going to do line work. I'll do a circle page and line page if I'm feeling stiff. Tell me about that. I want to hear about that, Oni. I definitely do that, says Ninja. By chance, did you see the thumbnails? I did. I reacted to them. Really awesome stuff. Hello, Thunder. Welcome in. The cloud mons were creepy in a cool way. Good. Could you give or show example of line work that you did that you're very proud of? No, I don't think that's rude at all. And hello, Glaciel. Is it Glaciel or Glaciel? I will show it afterwards. I'm in the zone now, But I think I want to absolutely work on that stuff, throughout November. As I said, I'm very proud to remind you guys, and I will, regardless, for a while, I got accepted into Holiday Matsuri. So that means that I have a lot of new art that I need to create to get out to my lovely viewers and, potential customers. And I'm making a lot of extra work for myself by, essentially. So you'll see over here, right? Because I have my iPad, I can just twist this kind of stuff around and make it work for me. You could do the same with paper, essentially, right? Like if you're illustrating on paper, you can just shift, but I digress. I will say that I've been told my line work is really good, and I can't tell if people are being nice, but that's because, I go about it my own way, and at the end of the day, I still try to make it good, right? Glacier and Fell, my boy never fell off. When I did comics, I would do thumbnail, sketch, line work, flat tones, and then FX. There you go. That cartoonist guy, congratulations. Thank you. Love your work. Appreciate it. Yes, this is the latest iPad Pro. I figured it was time to upgrade. I had a 2020 Pro, but this time Apple increased the screen size by just a little bit, and I figured that was enough. But I think above all, like the main thing that I wanted to do was I wanted better battery, knowing that I wanted to stream more iPad work, because you guys know that a lot of what I do on stream normally is what? Conceptualizing on Photoshop via my Wacom tablet, right? But I can only do my Pokemon sketches or Zertempo sketches up to a certain degree. By being able to practice by having this kind of, is this promoted by Apple? I don't know, that'd be good. I love to zoom in. Chill and gang, tell me this. I've had moments where I tried to zoom on paper and I'm like, oh, I'm getting to the end of my simulation. Like, it is such a crazy thing because, like, pinch to zoom and this and that, like, we're just so used to it. And, like, I've seen a lot of people be like, man, babies are so stupid. I've seen them try to pinch to zoom on magazines and this and that. No. Babies are super smart, intelligent, and adorable creatures. They're taught what they're doing in this world, and that's what they know, right? So it always makes me laugh when I do the same thing that like babies do, and I'm like, you know what, little babies, I get it. I get it. I asked my brother, I was like, yo, is there any specific archetype you want this like trainer to be? And he said, not really. So I said, all right, I'm just gonna make you my cool brother that I know. That's it. I convinced him, if you guys recall, I convinced him not to go the route of the shiny Gallade, which I ended up thinking was kind of, I thought he was going to look cooler, but like, first of all, shiny Gardevoir looks way better. Shiny Gallade sucks in comparison. So, but this stream is sponsored by Flapple. I agree. Flapple is the best. Well, you guys know, for those who watched last year, we had a Hydrapple. If anyone remembers the name of him, let me know. If I add a beard and glasses, it's a Roy? Would that make... Huh? Is this Broody Jones when he's chilling? No, this is my brother. I have issues remembering not to zoom on photos. You have an iPad Pro sketch? I've always had an iPad Pro since 2020. I had the 2020, and I used it nearly every day, starting in 2021. In 2020, I barely got any use out of it. And then after that, I got really, like, ever since becoming a YouTuber and doing more professional work, But I enjoy this one. It's not like it's that much different. But hello, Rykar. Hello. IDK, if someone already has asked this, but I don't see a question. Who the warm-up is, you fill a page with circles, different sizes, it doesn't matter, just to loosen up. Then a page of straight lines. Huh, I've never heard of that. That was never any kind of exercise I did in art school or anything. Oh, would you ever make a video about the Terra leak? What is the Terra leak? Fill me in on that. I'm still waiting for the official designs of Bonny Jones, though. I think you're gonna have to keep waiting. I don't really want to put my energy into that. I think it's more fun. He's not like an actual character in the Bothy verse, right? With Professor Bothy and Dr. Broody. He's more my he's more Bonny John's evil variant, so to speak. So as you can see here, you guys see the adjustments I'm making, right? Where you know, I might be, you know, the where I like guesstimated previously, you can definitely see I'm like just really trying to, well, figuratively and literally line up. I'm like really trying to make this character feel like you can see where the neck goes and how that's going to connect to the jaw and how it's going to go up to the head and whatnot. So what type of trainer would you be, mister? Well, I've actually gone over this. You'll see this in I'm going to extend the hat out a little bit. If you've noticed, so Professor Bothy, who is my Sona essentially, you guys can call me Bothy or Mr. John or Bonnie, whatever you want. He is a professor, but lore-wise, he started off as a ranger. And I think that's because, and I've thought about this clearly, if I were in the Pokemon universe, I think I'd want to be... I think I'd want to be... You know what? No, my brother doesn't have hair like that. I think it would come down like that. And also, you know what? Let's see. So I can still make adjustments, you know, and just kind of... I wanted like a better follow through for the jaw there, right? So I came in, I can come in and just clean up a little bit. I don't want the tangent line to hit like that, so I'll just go like this. But yeah, I would want to be a Pokemon Ranger. I don't think I would enjoy battling in the Pokemon world. That's just me personally. I'd rather, I think, kind of help people and Pokemon alike. So if I am raising Pokemon, it's Pokemon that I'm raising to help me in this profession. I think it'd be more fulfilling to me as a person. And you know, I guess in real life, if I ever get to make it in some capacity and I get to retire, believe you me, I'm gonna be in like some sort of reserve, in a cool country with like awesome animals, and just try to rehabilitate injured or baby animals. That's my dream. So like, I think the same would be the case in the Pokemon world then, where I would want to, yeah, more or less, do the same thing. Where, okay, how does that look? Not bad. Where I'd get to just, yeah, be a part of the world without like observing the most popular aspect, which is battling, right? So my apologies, Professor. It's okay. It's been a while. It's the beta sprites that were leaked. I did do that one, right? The tower leak is what's calling the recent hack. Now they're leaking everything. Bonny Jones, Indiana Jones. I love Indiana Jones. I did a lot of traditional art. Gotcha. Me too, but I never did that. Apple writes, I love these questions, Apple. Do you respect your lines on the line work? How? What does that mean exactly on this piece of line work? So far, what do you guys think? I think this is very successful, right? If we can quickly like take a look at this, you can kind of see where, again, a lot of my previous kind of form was, right? And obviously I will continue to develop and fix and taper, right? Like I actually, you know, gave my pants away to get tailored since the end of this week. I'm going to be a godfather, and so I got a really nice tan suit, but it needed some tailoring. So I bought it and it looked great, but it wasn't a perfect fit. So I think that's a perfect analogy. If we look at, you know, if we look at a draft, we picked this up off of the rack, except we created it, so maybe it's more, you know, that's not as accurate. But then we're like, oh, okay, we need it to be an even better fit, right? How do we do that? And that's by giving respect and space to the draft. It's been some time since I've worked on this draft, so by being able to jump back into here, I can see what I want to adjust, what I want to fix up. And you know, I know the nose comes down this way. I'm going to come here. I'm going to add this line here. You can see where I am putting down, like, again, where the back of the hair, you can kind of see coming from underneath the ears. Even the way, like, I kind of simplified and kind of guessed how this Pokeball is going to sit on the side of the head, and you can see I was very off. And that's fine, because that's what the draft's for, right? So far, the head is looking pretty damn good, right? Hey, what's up, Toxie? Welcome in, welcome in. Not gonna lie, you and True Green look so similar. It's also crazy because sometimes two different people can look the same. Is that chat? Tell me, is that true? Do me and Ron look the same? I don't know. He's a good-looking guy, so I'll take it. But I personally don't see it. But I'm curious what you guys think. It'd be funny if in the Pokemon world they would have their own pocket monsters, just normal animals. Maybe that's how it was. Hello, Alex. Welcome in. Welcome in. Some lore on the professor. Indeed, indeed. Yo, Bon, have you seen Poketoons? I have. I haven't seen the more recent Japanese ones because I don't think they've been translated yet. I mean, what type would you have to choose? Oh, I've done this before too, Apple. I would be a ghost trainer. I would absolutely be a ghost type trainer. I think that's my favorite type. I do like a lot of grass types, a lot of fire types and electric types. I like most types, but I think ghost is my all-time favorite. I don't think any male character, maybe not. Both me and my brother wear earrings. Normally I have a second pair on, but I didn't put it on, so I guess I'll do that now. I think it looks great. Thank you, thank you. I love animals. I actually grew up on a ranch. Okay, we got a few of you guys in chat who grew up with animals, which I think is dope. That cartoonist guy, DCG, writes, random question, but will we ever see Houndoom or Lucario versions of Lycanite? Sorry, I just like seeing different versions of Pokemon. Great question. I'll answer that in just a sec after I get through this. Attempting to work on my legendaries? Good luck to you, Zach. You got this. Bonnie with an IE, disgraceful, is going to have to bring out Italian mobster Reaction in his fanciest tuxedo rose on it and say, you come to me on the day of my famous art piece. Congrats again on becoming Godfather. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hat's a bit squarey. That's true. I can fix that. Me with my potato head. I don't see it. Yeah, me neither. I don't think I see it. I think Ron's a little thinner than me. I was a big boy growing up. Okay, I always needed to go to the husky department. Maybe because we have short hair and like a beard, but even then my beard is a little different. I'm a little more tanner. All heads are valid. Yeah, it's true the hat can absolutely be reshaped. That kind of stuff we'll, look through as we figure out, the continuous passing of this is essentially a second draft, right? Even if the lines are feeling final. But this is all stuff we'll fix, I promise. I also see, but y'all's names are kind of similar, Ron and Bon. Yeah, that's true. Should the stellar type actually be a real type? 100%. I think so. I feel like if they wanted to make this big thing like Terrapagos is stellar, oh, new Stella, da da da, and then it's like this quick gimmick type of thing, it's a little lame. So crispy line art. So I said this many times in the chat, and I need everybody to wish Danny to feel better. She's, you know, she needs that spirit bomb aura. We have not stretched Danny. Thank you very much. I'll go ahead and hit that stretch. But Danny's lines are probably the nicest I think I've seen. I sound like a broken record. I tell her this all the time. Lines look crispy. I appreciate it. I do wish they had a little more character. They're looking a little stale to me. But it's fine. I can go over them if I need to. Yeah. Ronnie John and Trubon 7. Yeah, I don't think we look very similar. But you know, one day we'll meet, and then we'll see. We'll see in person. But so far so good, I think. I'll go ahead and hit him with that neck muscle. So yeah, I would say ghost type would be the type I'd want. And in fact, I did an illustration. If you guys go to Mr. Bonny John over at Instagram, and you're gonna have to really scroll to find it. You'll see like a little cool fan art that I did of myself. Is that a nice way to say it? Fan art of myself? I guess autobiographical art, maybe? It's not fan art. Subjectively Bon art. Just chatted with Jack today, chat. Also, I'm happy to announce, now that we got a bunch of you guys in here, maybe we can chat a little bit about the state of the channel. And how, you know, unfortunately, again, and there's no rhyme or reason to it, the last few videos haven't been doing super duper well. And that's fine, because my passion is more in streaming and just creating content. But at the end of the day, when we are creating work, we want to see a return on investment, right? And I haven't quite been seeing that. So I did the Ben 10 video for you guys, and then I did, which I was happy to do. But then I did the Halloween video, which is more, you know, obviously also for everyone, but you know, that one I was like super passionate and excited about. So much so that I didn't, you know, stream the entire week. I was very busy, but I'm telling you, all day and night, I'm working on this thing, right? You know, writing the drafts for the script, and then, you know, rewriting it, and then voice narrations and losing my throat doing that scratchy voice. I'm talking with at least 100 assets, right? Within that video. If it's not rebuffing old stuff and building new things, there were 6 brand new designs. It was a lot. So I was very pleased with the final result. But again, if I don't really get that return on investment, it's a little hard to kind of feel confident moving forward with other kind of videos. And so maybe I'm going to stick in the lane of doing videos that work. Self-portraits? Thank you, you're right. The only person I can think of at the top of my head who looks like Bond is that weirdo Brody Jones, true. About the line art, writes Apple. How easily can you disconnect the vision of background work and rewrite the lining without being too on it and still change the lines despite the color works you've done? Another excellent question. I think it's very easy, Apple. Give this man like, hey, you heard the man. Thank you very much, Oni. Make sure you guys leave a like while you guys are here. Why male characters? I don't know. It could be that like maybe they see, I mean, slowly Nintendo and Game Freak and whatnot have been breaking a lot of boundaries with character designs, especially in this last one, right? Always available. Thanks, Sketch. And maybe they feel like, I don't know, earrings are too flamboyant or something. I don't know. I don't think that's a good reason. It's probably the wrong reason. Definitely stupid. Yeah, I agree. It's tough because, so again, Ron and them carried the other video, right? They have that pull and power, and I'm just so blessed to know them, and they hopped on. So don't get me wrong, that video is nearly at 90K. So I still kept my expectations tempered, right? But the last few videos have underperformed. But with the Ben 10 video, it's like no big deal. I developed that stuff with you guys. In fact, that's why I like working on that stuff, because you guys get to teach me about it. And I think this is one of the most attractive things, as far as like, say, like women I've talked to or dated. Recently, I maybe started chatting with, or a woman from the past rekindled. Hello, GamerX Meep. Hello. And she's gorgeous, but like I wasn't very stimulated as far as our conversation, and I feel like I just like to be around and keep company of people who are passionate about things. Right, and it shows in the conversation. It shows. So like for me, I don't know anything about Ben 10, but if you guys teach me about Ben 10 because you guys are so passionate about it, I love reading all the comments and you guys correcting me, or like, oh but wait, there's more, and blah 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 blah. It can be overwhelming with so many voices telling you one thing, but I love and appreciate that about you guys, so a lady, yeah. But it's not anything I really want to pursue, no disrespect to her. But yeah, honestly, it just I think comes down to, as Danny said earlier, working on videos that that I want to. And so for example, I did do that, right? Oh, and so I'm also answering Apple's question right now live. Again, it's a fun word to use. Respect the previous draft, right? I am using the previous suggestions, right? Like the draft is like a very it's very much a suggestion where I kind of like laid out the groundwork, and it's suggesting like this is where you made this circular shape. When I come back to it now, I can make it more accurate, right? Bond's growing up. Bonnie finds us more attractive. Hey, listen, as long as you are confident and passionate about something, you are an attractive person. That's all you need to do. So yeah, despite many, the 5th champion on Unova, what's his name? He's got long hair. He's got a cool poncho. Gen 9's character designs can be described as gender. Easy pull video that do well, videos that you think do well, and then one special one for you. Yeah, it's kind of like what the studios do for directors, right? One for you and one for the studio. Is that my boy in the thumbnail? It is Infernape, yeah. I'm not gonna say you don't know Ben 10 after. I mean, now I do, right? But yeah, ultimately, hello, Rec, welcome in. If you had a green 7, put on Patari earrings, your fusion me, Mr. Ronnie John. Bonnie calling all shy people oogali. Never that. Confidence is very attractive, yeah. George Washington cuts down the anchor at the Vilgax ship, inspiring the Alder, that's what it is, thank you. But what I'm trying to say is I did that Ben 10, all of this to say that I did that Ben 10 video for you guys as a means to say thank you for all the support. And then I did the Halloween one, obviously for, I mean, no matter what it is, Pop is always trying to feed you guys. But I saw the Halloween one as one for myself as well, right? Where I can, I'm a delicious person. So I always want to put my all in like the narration, the storytelling, like the levels that I put in the Halloween video. It did better than the Ben 10 one. So I likely won't be doing a Ben 10 part 4. But that's fine. That's like part of the process, right? Like I did 3 videos, so I think we're good there. But moving forward, I think that I'll probably don't call yourself Papa. Yeah, I could have said something even worse. Hello, Dingus, welcome in. We're just going over the Halloween stuff, going over I guess, yeah, the state of the channel, the direction of what I want to do in November, which is again more work for Holiday Matsuri. So it'll be more line work and conceptualization and poster development and all this other fun stuff. Thank you for the videos and live streams. Of course, Father, do you think the Pokemon art style, previous ones or current, has any impact on... Yeah, of course. Maybe not necessarily on other media, like in the genre, but like, let's just say on art versus say animation industry, because style is always subjective and, independent of the maker, right? So DBZ, right? Anime, right? Con prep. Yeah, Danny got me so much amazing. Thank you so much, Danny. Just tips and whatnot. And it's crazy because I was there with Danny for her first con, and now she's returning the favor and taking me sort of back under the wing, so to speak. But yeah, I would say that, think about it. How many times I've mentioned this on my stream, many times. I get a lot of people that come in and they want to tell me, hey, Bon, I'm working on my own monster tamer. And quite often those people, right, they are inspired by the Sugimori style, right, of which I'm trying to attempt to some degree. This is a gift, so because it's not something that like I really need everyone in the world to see, I'm going to take some creative liberties and whatnot, right? This is going to be hanging in my brother's home, and I hope he loves it. I know he will. But like, obviously I'll do my due diligence and still try and create an accurate, within the realm of it, piece of work, right? There's a lot of stuff, as we were saying earlier, Apple mentioned, was it Apple or someone else? There isn't a lot of Pokemon characters, male characters with earrings. Why is that? But regardless, that means there's no reference of that. Now, granted, ears are just ears. We can look at any, female character who might be wearing earrings in that franchise and just use that as reference. But it's still interesting to gauge, like, where we can find our resources, right? Would Mr. Brody ever get a legendary Pokemon? Maybe make a legendary Polymer? Maybe. So I guess that's like another thing I can talk about. Like, I really don't even know if I want to do a Halloween video next year. If somehow I continue to keep growing and, like, this stuff is still in the cards and it's like still interesting to me, maybe I will do a Halloween video next year. But I don't know if I want to do like the same level of work, because it really, I really was so tired and just, I overworked myself. I was racing to get it out. I was slowed down earlier because of like the hurricanes, but I had to get out the video because the Halloween episode that I was with, as far as Ron's channel, I wanted to put it out around the same time. So, in the arms of an angel. Hey Diglett, I recommend doing a blend of evergreen content and current. Trick question: how would you line work a stick figure? Honestly, that is a valid question. I love your style, Bond. That's what made follow you. I appreciate it. Yeah, what's funny is I kind of eschewed the Pokemon art style from my own art style last year this time. I also think it's good that you have friends that love drawing because they can motivate you too. A lot of cultures don't pierce ears. Conversely, a lot of cultures do. But yeah, I would say that I was definitely burnt out working on this video. So would Dr. Broody make a legendary polymer? I think so. It would need to like thematically work, right? So as you guys saw, if you watched the video, this one was a very canine oriented one, right? It kind of picked off from last year's episode where we kind of realized while it was a dream for Professor Bodhi, elsewhere in the multiverse, that was an actual event for a Dr. Broody. So would you consider other colors other than black for line work? You know what? I think you saying that, Apple, I wish you said that sooner, because I low-key don't want to do black for the Pokemon. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned it. Just because this looks a little funky, so we might have to fix this, but that's okay. We'll get to it when we get to it. I think that's a smart idea. It depends on how, I guess I don't want to say visible or noticeable, but like different color line work or like line weight, I think more so, will dictate how our eyes find Darkrai and Giratina. I think that might be a little too obvious, a little too on the nose. Maybe not obvious, but on the nose. I also think that would be like blindingly OP. So the way I would probably approach it would probably be along the lines of like Darkrai being the mythical or legendary, and then fusing that with a regular Pokemon. Because so something that was important to me for the ending, so spoilers, right? I love colored line work. You do really good colored line work, Danny. By the way, Bonnie went, I'm not going as hard as last year. I know, Rec, that pissed me off too. It really did, because I was like sitting there and I'm like thinking like, how did this happen? Because I was like, oh, I'm gonna make it like a silly like B horror movie, but like the moment I started doing the intro and like making it kind of like this old school like horror intro, and it starts with like, you know, revitalizing Toasty and doing the chainsaw stuff, and you know, whereas the other previous polymers, it was less about like the Pokemon he was creating, more about his like own mental decline as he was like breaching the ethics, right, of life, right, by like fusing. So when it came to this time around, I wanted again to continue that storyline. I set up from last year Seth, that polymer Huskers, who was a mummy, right? The jackal, which is like an animal we've seen in a lot of Egyptian cultural artwork. And Dusclops, who is this kind of like Cyclops wrapped in bandages. It made sense to make him a mummy. Then I wanted him to have his revenge. So last year I wrote in the Dex entry, this Pokemon may be able to evolve into, if fused with a Cofagrigus, as a little hint. And I brought that full circle this year. And I even brought back those Dex pages and flashed them in that sequence. Where are the linear tips? Oh, the line art tips? Hey, listen, my line art tips are answering the questions live. So please, if you guys need any specific tips, that's what I'm here for. And ask Danny too. Actually, she's not, you know, on the payroll. So ask me, and then if it's good by Danny, she'll give us a thumbs up. By the way, Bon, do you know how much Theater Kid energy gave off in the Halloween video? Yeah, tell me about it. I didn't know. Calyrex and Gourgeist, Headless Horseman. I was actually very close to doing that. Making your Halloween costume Roy from Pokemon Horizons. Okay. You're an actor in an alternate universe. You have no choice to ham it up. That's true. And I will say, I'm entirely too shy to maybe take to the stage in this life. But I kind of wish my school had some sort of like theater program. If not like acting, I would have loved to do like some sort of like maybe set design or directing or some shit. You know, I like that kind of stuff, which is why, you know, I do a lot of creative directing for the videos and all that, right? But yeah, this hand is so funky. So here's your tip, Apple. Let yourself have funky, nasty, weird hands, and then we'll fix that later. How's that? That's a good tip. So, oh, the real tip is make sure you guys start getting out your early votes. Okay, go ahead and do that. Make a plan. Decide who you're gonna. That's a rare horror story. Make sure you go and make a plan with your family or friends and go and do your early votes. Read up about the stuff that's going to affect your state. You know, just do your due diligence. Enjoy. Do you want to hear a joke? Why did the Headless Horseman get a job? He wanted to get ahead in life. Can you give me examples of line work you specifically remember as amazing or horrible, not to drag others but for learning? Don't choke your pen when you do your lines, those grippers. Put those away. I get cramps in my hands because I've got like the illest death grip on my tool. Swear. Like, it happens all the time. And I have to like remind myself, hey, you're not here to like suffocate this damn pen. So that is a great tip. Voting next week. All right, just don't let it cut too close. It's gonna get busy. So any tips varying the thickness of line art? Is there a way to do it in a single stroke? Do you need to erase or alter? I think voice acting. Yeah, I've always wanted to do voice acting for sure. I'm not American citizen. I live in the US. Can I still register vote? Too late? And no, you can't. Draw with your arm, not your fingers. That's so true. Any tips for varying the thickness? This is a great question. So absolutely what I will do at some point is I'm just like, for example, I can come over here and I can kind of like, you know, add some kind of thickness. Now that's like arbitrary to some degree, right? But you can see how much character already kind of, you know, that area is kind of hit, right? A hit with, excuse me. So it will definitely give some levity. So for example, I want this head to kind of maybe stick out a little more. So I'll come back and maybe just give a little more weight to this space. And now that area is kind of lifting above the other section. You see? Paint bucket, who is she? I've been so much better about that. In fact, it's kind of crazy that I used to do it like that. I don't know why. I guess you might chalk it up to the fact that I used to be like a painter, so that's probably what it is. But yes, I think it's so important to go in with like, just because you finish one pass at lines does not mean you're finished. So look at this. By holding or excuse me, pushing the pen to its not limits, but like you can see that thickness by pen pressure has really added some weight to the top there, right? That's because I want Luke to be sticking out in front of whichever. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have the neck come like just a little bit. He's going to be kind of the star of the show since it's his birthday gift. So by having the, you know, elements that's going to separate his character from other Pokemon characters around him, by making these certain line elements thicker, it's just going to give a little more purpose to the lines outside of just being like, this is the container for the colors, right? But being multifaceted in entertainment is incredibly valuable. So you being a performer. Next, Seth MacFarlane. Drawing with my fingers. Choke me like you hate me because you love. Hey, yo, undo key is a must-have when doing smooth curves. I use Control Z all the time. I do a little tap tap gesture on my pen. Actual question, writes Apple Pie, my favorite kind of pie. Although I do like a pecan pie too. What objects on the paper you wouldn't line or erase it later? Like, what kind of objects on the art never get to be lined? I mean, I think that is actually per basis individual element, right? So I think with Luke mostly being done here, this is one of my favorite things to do now, which is, ooh, that looks pretty damn good. Now, again, there's certain things I could fix, like that second arm is a little wonky looking. Clearly, the hand looks a little wonky. I gotta fix all of that. The tangent line right here, it's kind of a pseudo tangent line, the way this line here. In fact, I'll use a different color to illustrate it a little bit. I might try to make the ball just a little more, like, break past that line, you know? Yeah, that other arm looks really wonky, but this looks pretty good, all things considered. I like the only character from the anime that actually wears earrings is Molly Diana. Pumpkin pie for you. Sketch is not good in the long run. Try trying. Hey, he knows. Oni knows. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then there are stuff that I'm already seeing that I don't like. Like, for example, Luke's this pocket right here, you can kind of see that it's not super well aligned to that pocket there, right? So I might want this line to kind of roll a little better between this space here, right? And I can just, you know, come right back into here, erase this bit. There you go. And then over here, and you know, another thing that happens is when you start coloring, chat. So yeah, let's have this pocket. Let's have it follow the, if we have the pocket kind of follow the edge of that other space, let's do the same thing here. Let's have it follow down this way. And because this one's looking a little too wide, I'm gonna come in and just kind of end it a little early, so they look a little more, not just equidistant, but like symmetrical. And we'll see how it looks. But once you put in colors will also be a really good way to, you know, gauge line weight, detailing, if things need to be under detailed, or I guess removed, right, or given more detail. But yeah, so I would say that all pie is good pie. I don't know about that. I've not had a lot of pies. I do like cherry pie. So actually, have I ever had pumpkin pie? Maybe. Magpie, good pie. Magpie is a bird, right? The pocket's so close to being a tangent to the fanny pack. Is it? Maybe. Hold on, let me see. But yeah, I think, for example, like where this current sketch is, or not sketch, but like illustration is at, I don't love where the pocket's at, but I'm not going to fix it now, because I gave this section enough of my energy, right? Going to dine for my little brother's birthday. All right, enjoy. Have a great time, you guys. My bestie sweet potato pie. I never had a sweet potato pie, I don't think. I am homemade. I don't know, in a way we are all homemade. Lemon meringue pie. I feel like I'd like that, but I've never had that either. And it's the season for it. Both potato pie and pumpkin. But macaroni pie? Mississippi. All right, you guys are doing too much. You only need 3 pies. Apple pie, pecan pie, and cherry pie. All right? Otherwise, you guys have to feed me these pies that you're talking about. Otherwise, I'm quite frankly just not impressed. I am not impressed. You're doing a lot. You're not all that. Also, make your life easier. I was zoomed out. Let's zoom in and just make it easier. There you go. Peanut butter cheese pie? No. No. I refuse to believe that's real. That's troll. Right? Like, that's troll. Okay, so Luke, this looks pretty good. I will say maybe the mustache, now that I'm kind of seeing it, I'm just going to bring it down just a little bit. And look, it's not perfect, right? But that's okay. You could just kind of go over. I'm going to add like just a little bit of that fuzziness. There you go. Looks good. I'm going to just clean up this area the way the... Okay. A sweet potato pie sent to your P.O. box? Shepherd pie? I've heard of shepherd pie, but I have no idea what that is. Oh, wait. Chicken pot pie is good. But see, that's savory. You know? So, I mean, that's valid, right? That's a valid pie. But when I'm thinking pies, I think like a dessert. Human flesh pie? Oh, from Sweeney Todd? Ooh, that could be a fun polymer to do next year. What kind did you have, Danny? Is that homemade or you guys had it from like the store? Let's do the next Pokemon, which is going to be Aegislash. So this one, unfortunately, look, is very simple. He's going to be kind of sheathed behind Luke. I'm going to just move him. I want the sword to kind of look, see where it was before. The blade would be hidden by Luke's ear. So we're going to lose that little bit of the silhouette. So now that I've moved him just a touch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the reference just a little bit like this. And, you know, I want to kind of stay within the realm of what I drew because I have other Mons behind, right? That I need to, you know, be aware of their positioning, right? So it's been a while since I've watched Sweeney Todd. It was good. Chicken Run, where the villains talk about the pie machine. Cherry pie, I love cherry pie. So I have a funny story. It's not for me. It's, you know, my sister would argue it is not funny. Homemade for Din Din, is that enough to eat for a dinner? I feel like I eat way too much and a pie won't be enough. It would need to be a pie and like an entire second pie after. But on a flight to India when we were younger, Nancy had my sister had a really rough flight. And, you know, to the point where she was just throwing up so much. Maybe it was motion sickness. Maybe it was, you know, the nerves, you know, flying. And, you know, we were younger. But, you know, we had flown to India, you know, at a young age for several reasons, like family baptism, put our grandparents to rest, things like that. But Chicken Run was one of the films that were playing there. And it kept playing in the background as my sister kept throwing up. And so to this day, every time she sees even just the art style of like that universe, right? The Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run, that claymation, Flushed Away too, right? Is in that style. She gets the urge to throw up. So, random fact about my sister. It's just not a good trip for her. It's got protein, carbs, and veggies. Up checks in the air. Yeah, it's not good. Oh my god. Actually, I don't even want to talk about like the specifics, but on my flight back from Japan, which is like a year, you know, just a little over a year now, I actually the flight The Flight 2 wasn't bad. I think probably because I was just so excited and I was just keeping myself busy with a lot of film I was watching. Actually, The Way Back was really fun too because I finally got to catch up on Cyberpunk and Chainsaw Man, which now I have the vinyl right there. But the second, like On the Way Back, I just felt so, I don't know. Maybe because I was homesick or ready to come back home, but like, I think, when it comes to travel, I don't think I'm going to skimp out on, like, I don't want to do layovers. I don't want to do this or that. I'm not at a place where I can be like first class. To this day, I'm not sure if first class and stuff is worth it. Let me know if you guys have ever been on first class. Chicken Run, they talk about the pie machine. Chicken comes in, pie comes out. Yeah. I'm like that with cotton candy. What happened, Sketch? I do love cotton candy. We know how much you love that series. Don't start that with me, woman. Don't start that with me. Listen, because I know it's a good show. I'm not saying it's bad in any way. But I'm just saying I think it got to the point, chat, where everyone was like, this is the best anime ever. And, some time had passed. So by the time I got around to it, this happens with anything that gets popular. Game of Thrones, arguably, I think the one that it happens the most to with people is Breaking Bad. And I will say, I do think Breaking Bad is one of the best pieces of TV ever created. However, again, I can understand with memes and being in the cultural zeitgeist and all that kind of stuff, it soon like eclipses what it is and what it represents. Grandma's hair is here in my country. Where are you from, Apple, if you don't mind me asking, where they call it grandma hair? Oh, I wouldn't want to eat it if they called it that. Mixing Dr. Pepper and lemonade? Not at all. That's a monster. No, that's normal. I mean, it's not normal, but like, you'd be a monster if you mixed, I don't know, something like hot sauce and Dr. Pepper. All right? Dun, 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 dun. I want to see that so bad. I've not seen DB Daima. I'll say this, and I say this as a humongous Dragon Ball fan. Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama and I share the same birthday, April 5th. That alone, I always felt I was meant for greatness because my freaking GOAT, rest in peace for the ages, his work inspires me so much. Just such a pivotal part of my childhood and many of our childhoods. I don't like the art style of Super and Daima. I think it's overproduced looking. Like, you have these like very, not waxy, it's the opposite. It looks like everyone's lathered in baby oil. Like there's a lighting highlight, and then there's like a shadow, and then the art and the animation is so incredibly sterile. Like, when I think of bad digital animation and the rep that it might get, like, I don't like when people diss CGI in animation or CGI animation period. And then I don't like when people say like, oh, our animation's no good when we're not doing like traditional art. It's all the computer. No, no, no. Shut up. It's not that serious. Things evolve. But there is a way to still add liveliness and personality. You know? Israel, gotcha. Sounds kind of good, actually. Lemonade is goated. It fits in everything. Did you know the creative dun 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 dun? Yes, I did know that. I see cotton candy as a kid. Gotcha. Yes, let's all take a stretch break. You know what, Sketch? That's so valid. So I mentioned this on the Discord. I worked so hard on this Halloween video, chat. I'm telling you, so incredibly hard. And I was ready to take a break on Saturday because I finished that video when it got uploaded at 3 o'clock. I finished it around like 2, like rendering, would take some time after that. But like, I swear to you, I finished Nina or Houndirge. I finished that design earlier that morning at around 12. It was a very tough week for me. I had a lot to cover and do, and I just didn't take any breaks. And I think it eventually caught up to me. And now, granted, this was a separate thing, but I had, while I was rendering the work to get the video out, I made dinner. I guess there was like some bad ingredient. I think I know what it was too. But essentially, I had food poisoning. So for 3-4 hours after working nonstop in the week, I was in so much pain from this food poisoning. And I love food. But 2 days afterwards, chat, I could not look at food. I couldn't smell food. I would eventually like eat something just to get a little bit, but like I ate like mostly liquids like soup and whatnot, and like even my chicken like I didn't season, like I normally would have. So it's so valid. It's so valid. Have one bad experience with something, that's it. Let's see over here. They all look greasy. I hate it so much. It looks so bad. Damn, it's pretty smooth. I gotta look at it. I don't like superhero because it went CG. See, I don't appreciate this comment, Justin. Only unless you make yourself clear and you can, you can convince me. Like, what does that mean? I don't like it because, right? Diamond's like the DBS Broly movie. Stop playing. It was one of my favorite movies, period. Take care, JC. We'll see ya. Are you secretly drinking alcohol in a water bottle? No. This is actual water. I don't put calories in my body after 2. It was awful, Danny. I feel like I think I only got my appetite back. I swear to God, I think today. Like last few days, I was not eating well. I've been, having like lemon, honey, ginger tea all day, not all day, but like, I had ginger ale, Gatorade. I had to just get electrolytes back in my body. It was a really rough 3-4 hours. Did you eat grandma's hairs? Food poisoning? No. I can't eat food or still I feel sick. Well, I feel better, buddy. My dad know the feeling. Yeah. Bone apple teeth. So, okay, look, fortunately, Aegis is already kind of done, chat. I'm gonna have to get his hand out over here. I'm gonna watch that line here, because I want it to have some sort of space. Okay. Perfect. So that's his arm holding the shield to protect my brother, because I'm not there to protect him. Cool. And he's like on his back, almost like he's sheathed. So we will bring Aegis other arm out like this, just to add like movement in this area. It'll also allow me to fill this space with some color, right? It'll be like the purple of Aegis cloth. There you go. Ta-da! What languages do I speak? I speak English, obviously. Malayalam, which is the mother tongue of my parents and of the state that I'm from in India, called Kerala. I spoke a little bit of German from school. I speak Tagalog. Just kidding. I wish I could speak Tagalog so I could talk to Danny's parents like in a more cooler way. I speak Pig Latin. I don't like to see because I don't know if it's because of the way they did the CG just feels out of place for like projects like Dragon Ball, which have been 2D for the last decade. I heard very good things about it, so it might be just you. My spirit Pokemon, Scraggy, a little rascal who never gives up. When I had the nasty flu, I felt like I wanted to cough. Oh, I'm sorry. Sucks. Swagapino. Hello, Ninja. Welcome back. So, someone else told me like there's like a couple of other dialects in the Philippines, and I was like super surprised because all I ever heard of was Tagalog. Tagalog, right? Tagalog. But I'd love to speak Hindi. I'd love to speak Japanese. All right, so far so good. Okay, one by one we can keep. Yo, it looks good. It looks really good, yo. Scraggy's in ghost type? That's okay. You said my spirit animal. Spirit is anything, right? You asked earlier my preference. If I were a trainer in the world, right? So it's two different things. But yeah, Scraggy's my silly answer. I'd rather let you called me Scraggy once. I was so offended until you explained. See, look, actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll have to see. That's how much love I have for Danny. I called her, I forgot I even called her that, but now it's coming back to me. I'm laughing like crazy in my mind. But I love Scraggy. He's so cute and so precious. Like I would want Scraggy, Togepi, Cubone, Croagunk. They'd be my little babies. My spirit Pokemon is Giratina or Greninja. That's a devil god. Be careful, brethren. Eevee's definitely mine. Yeah, I had a feeling. I don't know. I think you guys have to choose for me because I feel like I'm going to be biased a little bit, right? You guys know who I am, my convictions, my personality, my passions. What represents me, you think? All right, this looks good. Next up, let's do... Yeah, it's gonna be freaking Infernape. This guy came out so sick, chat. Ray Ray's my goat. Rayquaza is American, amazing. I said American. Rayquaza proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Smeargle? Yeah, Smeargle. Do you speak Tamil? Nice, Justin. I'm surprised people know of Tamil. Actually, there is like some decently known Tamil people in the industries of the arts and whatnot. So, MIA, that lady who sings, all I want to do is do, and ding, take your money. That lady, she's Tamil, from Tamil Nadu. Nadu means land, so the land of Tamil. So she's Tamil Nadu, and then Aziz Ansari, if you guys know Parks and Rec, the Indian guy from there. There's a few other people who's escaping my mind, but there's definitely oh, but the really cool thing is, so you guys know Hanuman Kind, that rap song that goes, wait a minute, get it how we live it. That guy, he's from my state, Kerala, which is so cool. We're both Malayalis. I only speak English. I was asking you. Gotcha. Scraggy's so... Yeah, I know. Scraggy's just fire. He's just adorable. That's the most important thing to me about Scraggy. All right. Let's start with Infernape's face, I think. You know what? Also, chat, I'm realizing I've still a sore throat because I was throwing up so much from that... from that food poisoning incident, so like I had a sore throat. I was throwing up for like hours. Well, not like continuously, but I kind of feel like Garchomp works too. Sharks are strong to show themselves. Hey, you know what? That's true. I do love sharks so much. People do know this in me. I like that answer. This streamer I watch who doesn't stream anymore so far because of life commitment speaks to it in addition to English. Gotcha. Interesting. Did you see all the beta Scraggy? What? No, I gotta see that. I don't think I seen it. I did do a stream on chat. I did do a stream live with chat where we went over leaks. But there's a second set that I haven't seen. So maybe we'll do that another day. Gargle saltwater, that's true. I do know of that. I think my pediatrician had taught me that a long time ago. You're so right, Danny. Um, Actually, in fact, I should have hot tea. That would have been smart rather than just regular water. But I had tea earlier, you know? Okay, let's go ahead and continue this. Um God, you know what? I will say, despite me not loving um line art, it is very um what's the word? It's very, Danny, how would you word it? Not therapeutic for me personally, not therapeutic, but like it's pleasing in a way where it's like you set yourself up for success by drafting, and it's just kind of cool to see, like, looking how I'm adding bounce to infernate the way I did that curvature at the top. Does that make sense? He looks like Quagsire in yellow pants. Put that in the Discord in general chat. I want to see that. It was destined for Gen 3. Yeah, that happens all the time. Next time Bob work too hard, we're coming in like FBI open up. You guys are too kind. I really put myself through the ringer last week. And I have so much to do too, chat. I got like this con stuff and I keep making more work for myself. And you know, I'm getting support in small little ways, right? Like Danny hooked me up with so much amazing con experience. My other friend Senna, she was kind of like, essentially, I just needed kind of like validation. Like, am I a crazy person for wanting to redo my art? You know, like I'm just making more work for myself, and I still have, you know, posters and stuff that haven't sold, right? I'm not gonna like revamp my stickers. That's fine. But I just feel like as an artist, I'm coming back to this con. That con last time, it was I traded like truly like my first real con. I tabled with Danny, and hopefully I can speak for both of ourselves and say like we had a great time. We learned so much. And ultimately, as it was the first con for us, because I did DreamHack, but like it's more like a video game tourney con, and the Artist Alley just kind of like exists there as like a feature. So people aren't really there to like go to Artist Alley. Like there are people who come to Holiday Matsuri. They've told me this. Many people. They're like, I just want to come out and support the artist and just see the amazing work. I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. So DreamHack, I was like in my last year of senior year of college. So I didn't have a lot of time to create art. So I had like, you know, maybe like 2 posters or something, and like maybe like 6 stickers. So I barely broke even. I was lucky to barely break even. And you know, the idea at your first con is you never break even, apparently. And so I was like, oh, I'm excited for Holiday Matsuri because you know, now that I have something under my belt, I can take more of a concentrated effort and make you know, like content for sale and really put my best foot forward. That was 2021, I want to say. So now all these years back, and you know, and I say this with the utmost love, and I would have loved to like table with Danny again, but I'm excited to table solo this time. As scary as is going to be, I still need to figure out who's going to be my partner. I got to figure out, because of my vision impairment issues, my disability, how to travel at nighttime and move all this merch and stuff. So that'll come as, you know, as I go. But I'm excited to like in general, I think more and more, and I'll talk more about RP and all that kind of stuff, retinitis pigmentosa, my disease, and all the stuff. I recently applied for vision impairment disability services, and you know, I'm gonna just lean more into, you know, this ailment, and rather than like kind of let it, and for, you know, for a long time it's kind of had like a vice grip on me. Maybe try and get in front of it a little bit. But I digress. I think the point being, being solo, I think it's going to be a very good, not just lesson, but like opportunity, right? Like lesson's one thing, and opportunity, you could say it's kind of the same thing, but it's both a lesson and opportunity for me to, you know, try another kind of new venture. Even though it's obviously similar to the experience from before, it's still going to be new territory. So I've been like really focused and excited on making like a cool presentation for my booth, you know, like I'm gonna treat it like this is, you know, not just my artwork, but like I'm selling myself, right? How's that going to look and from an aesthetic point of view? So I'm very excited for it. But I got a lot on my plate, my table, you know. Okay, let's catch up with you guys while I was yapping. What's an anime you will swear you'll never watch because of personal preferences? I don't know. I'm not like really. I don't think I have any prejudice against any sort of preferences. Got any examples, Justin? Depends on what kind, but some teas dehydrate you, so water's probably better. Danny, go. It's because her friend is in the medicine field. She straight teach me all sorts of stuff. So Lizard though shedding its. Oh, I did Apple. I did see that one. I like that guy. I forgot to tell you that I finished your Halloween costume design. Nice, dude. Thank you, Justin. Can I go now? It's 1:15 a.m. Go to sleep whenever, Apple. I'm not keeping you. Hola, Carlito. ¿Cómo está? Welcome in. Welcome in. Have your drinks at home, Matt? Stop, Danny. Danny, say psych right now. Lots of spiked drinks? As in, like, people were roofied and shit? Or, like, people were trying to be pranky and they're like, oh, vodka. Like, you know, they thought they were, like, doing favors for people? Or were they actually, like, maliciously trying to... That is so fucked up. Thank you, Apple. I appreciate you. You never have to ask for permission. Thank you so much, Apple. That's too kind. You definitely got this. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. I had to be with my daughter. Welcome home and welcome back, Oni. People are sick and twisted, Thunder. That's scary. I was gonna say, would anyone spike my drink? But like, you just never know. Like, I can't pretend like, oh, it's not gonna happen to me. I guess you just never know. That's awful. Oh my god, were the police involved? I won't watch ReZero because of personal bias. See, I've heard of ReZero, and to this day, I don't know what it is. But I know there's like famous waifus because I had done research on like trying to get like characters I might want to illustrate. What's wrong with ReZero, chat? Do you guys share the same opinion? Is it good? Is it whack? It was crazy. I'll tell you more about it some other time. Oh my god, that's awful. Bonnie, do you think Goku should revive the Saiyans? Just make sure you have a cap drink. Oh my god, I absolutely will. The hell? Honestly, I'm looking for a reason to fight somebody. So if somebody tried to spike my drink in front of me, ooh, dude, if you don't think I would swing on them right then and there, that's really messed up. I was excused. Well, thank you for, you know, for that. That was very sweet. But Apple, take care. Send lots of love to it's too kind. Thank you, thank you. Take care, Danny. Take care. ReZero's an isekai. Gotcha. What I missed? Some crazy shenanigans at the con that I'll be tabling at. Sufyan, welcome in, Mr. E. Just clicked on the stream. That clean line work. Hell yeah, welcome in, welcome in. Um, okay. Alex, are you done with class for the day? That is crazy. Everyone just always be careful. Oh, you know what? This kind of answers the question that Apple was asking about um when should you or not, use line work. And in this case here, I am using a kind of yellow line work for Infernape's hair. And it's kind of simple and obvious, but you might not think to do that. And when you go and change up colors like this, it allows in this case the literal element right at hand to feel a little more alive and have its own vibe and personality. When we look at the black line, right, we know it's a container for like colors, right? And then the colors will have treatment of shadow or highlights or whatever it's made up of to further kind of encompass what's captured in that space. So if we make line art for, say, the yellow fire, or red, orange, yellow fire, we make it yellow, it'll one kind of show that it's not the same type of object, right, that's being captured on the paper, right, versus corporeal physical body and like a living element of, like, say, hair. Yeah, I would say that it's such a simple and effective way. Same like if you had water attack flying, rather than lining it in black, line it in lime blue and see what a difference it makes. You'll be surprised. All right, this guy's coming out pretty dang great. Let's see here. Demo class is good. Oh, you said bye, guys? I thought you were no. Gotta get back to my studies. Take care, Sketch. Chat. So what else should we cover? I guess I'll talk about we talked about Suffocage in the Halloween video at Ron's channel. So I'll do it like this, little by little. Tell me if there's any questions or if you have any comments about the designs from that episode, and then we'll move on to my Halloween special. We can talk about the designs from there. And then I will eventually, I really want to chat about the nature of future episodes on my channel. Because I think I am going to kind of, I realized there was a reason why I slowed down from doing videos on my channel, and it was because I just simply don't get the return on investment. It's not worth it for me to, like, for example, the Halloween one, as much as I enjoyed doing it, I burnt myself out. I didn't get to stream and spend time with you guys because I'm like so busy doing every part of that video, right? YouTube changing their logo? No, I think they changed the hex color value for the red they use, which in my opinion, it's a better red now. But I don't think they're changing their logo. It's too iconic. It'd be kind of brand suicide. Well, I mean, I think they're popular enough, established themselves as the penultimate video streaming kind of site. So even if they changed it, nothing of consequence would happen to them. But yeah, I don't think it's anything beyond. I think a hexadecimal color value change. It's like a boring generic red to slightly more interesting red, which you could kind of see it happening, because if you notice, like, the red of the bar of the videos were like slowly kind of changing, if anyone caught that. Creative Corner, welcome in. Welcome in. I got a better question. How are you? Welcome in. The sub was creative? Like the damage they take goes to it? Oh, yeah. The way I wrote it was for Unravaged and the Substitute doll. And yeah, I was very proud of the lore I was building for that. The idea was you'd be watching, like, we could even figure out the method. I think the way I wanted to do it, one Galar Puppet Fake Mon, yeah, Suzine. I had to message Realm after, and I just reminded him, like, yo, everyone loves your stuff, man. Keep it up. Keep up the vision. Yeah, I would say that the Distortion realm, I wanted to lean more into the Distortion realm and Giratina, Punishment, and, you know, kind of add a more horror element there. And so I was like, dolls are inherently creepy. So by doing the substitute doll, I got to make it, translate it from something like a thing we barely think about, right? Because, like, it's not like we see it often. We see it for certain moves, obviously for substitute. Maybe in other kind of media, like, say, Super Smash Brothers, and even Pokemon Unite, we see substitute dolls in some capacity. But I was like, I like to do, anytime I do anything with Pokemon, I personally like to try and find things with potential where it's like untapped, right? So when I looked at, immediately I knew I wanted to do something with Substitute Doll, because, like, a long time ago I had done in my Dex Neo project, while that was a thing, rest in peace, I had done like a substitute doll who was like a ghost type that was like, kind of beaten up. I think I made it Ghost Fairy in the same vein as like Mimic, right? I think he's Ghost Fairy. But yeah, ultimately, this freaking Wukong man is so cool. He came out so good. But I digress. Using that version of Substitute Doll as a base, I wanted to craft a little bit of a story, because I do think there is something that could happen with Substitute Doll in the future. I really do think that it could be a thing. And I'm glad I got to explore that, right? Start a job at State Hospital, better than hell yeah. Congrats, good luck, man. Mickey's Ghost Fairy copy. Yeah, so like it made sense for me to then, like, when I was like looking at that previous design, Mimikyu also has that really fun, part of what makes Mimikyu work, chat, is the fact that we don't know what's underneath and that it's not entirely explained. So using that as kind of like the preamble towards my version, like, where does a Mimikyu potentially come from? Where does the pain that the substitute doll feels, like, where does it go to? Little by little, I just got a lot of fun creative storytelling moments that I then incorporated into the reveal. I was in the hospital. Tell me what happened, man. Are you feeling better? Low key, like, we've all been sick. Between Tay wasn't feeling well, I had food poisoning, Danny hasn't been feeling well, Justin was in the hospital. What's going on, everybody? Okay, Infernape looks pretty good to me. Um, I guess, you know what? I can have Infernape's like tail come out like that. That way it kind of just cuts in that space a little bit. Okay, so let's close Infernape's layer. Also looks pretty damn good, right? Possible seizure, oh my god. I would use every Pokemon from the collab video, even though there are 9 designs instead of 6. Everyone popped off, and I'll say this. No matter what it is, you guys know this about me. I will always be extra. I always want to, like, you know, when I'm invited to collaborate with people that I admire and respect, and like, even now, like, call friends, I want to come in with my best work, you know? I want to come in with a vision, and I don't take lightly the opportunities that I get being invited to a collab, you know, especially as a smaller YouTuber compared to, say, a lot of my contemporaries. So that's why I always go hard. I had so many people tell me, Bon, man, that poem was awesome and this and that. I so appreciated that. I didn't have to do that, right? And then I had someone saying, man, that was so extra or this or that. It was like one comment. But the way I looked at it, I'm there to like put on a show, right? I want people to, part of my goal is like, yeah, I want to be recognized. And you know, I've seen awesome and kind comments that, you know, some of you guys leave. I need to see more comments on the Halloween special, by the way. I wholeheartedly believe that, you know, everything that I do, like, I do kind of treat like a competition, like, not necessarily against Ryoma, Jack, and Ron, but like against myself, you know, where I'm like, I want to make the best version of my designs or like content. I want people to like leave the video and say like, wow, Bond's poem was this, or Bond's designs did that. Bond's, you know, like, that is a sign of a job well done. And I always want to put my best out, you know? Time of year that we fall ill or injured, absolutely. On the workers, good. Fairy type can be scary, absolutely. You know, Purple's right. Um, I feel the same way. I dislike when a lot of people are like, "Oh, fairy was unnecessary," or "they're this or that." Like, they imbalanced dragons. Dragons were already just too powerful. Whether or not it was fairy, it was going to be something that, you know, was going to balance against them. But the point being, a lot of people are like, "Oh, fairy mons are just pink, or they're just food, or they're just this." Okay, well, water Pokemon are just based on water, and fire Pokemon are based on fire. What's your point? So, again, at the end of the day, the most important thing. All right, next up, we're gonna do Lucario, and Lucario looks badass here. Also, you know what I will do, since Lucario is behind. No, you know what? We're gonna put Lucario just a little. He'll be in front of Infernape, so that blue can negate that red fire, right? So that's the color balance that you kind of like have to think about when you're doing line work. The next line work tip, like, and that's why, like, to me, lining, it's not something. Look, I'll say this: it's not something for me personally where like I can sit there and just line something out, like freeballing it, essentially. Is that the word, verbiage? I need to be able to draw out this Lucario, right? Put down the colors, see how it looks next to Infernape and whatnot, right? Like by doing all that stuff, then I can get my lines down a little better, right? That's just me. Now it's just actually what the designs at 2, 3. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I personally, again, you guys know this about my channel as well. And in general, if you know me as a human being, I'm going to bring Lucario's eyes a little closer. I think they're a little far back in the draft. So let's bring it like right here. But if you know me, I don't put out anything less than my best, right? If a year from now and you guys have seen me trash from my older work, and when I say trash, I don't mean to disparage it in such a way where it's like negative, and because I do believe in the power of like positive thinking for sure, but it's more like me in just saying like, wow, I've gotten so much better. And the only reason how and why that was possible is because I never gave up and I continued onward and yada, yada, yada. So, you know, when I do see people, and look, everyone is entitled to their opinion. In my more recent collab video, I did an Empoleon and a Cinderace. And I got, you know, a lot of amazing comments. It's so kind. People really liked the editing of the video too, which I appreciated. But yeah, ultimately, I had found that some people didn't like, be it my work or, you know, whatever it was. And I've seen this in many of these 4 artists' videos, right? You are allowed to dislike someone's work. That's just the reality of the world. But there's and you know, I'm not saying like, oh, be nice about it, like, oh, I'm a baby. But it's more like, learn how to communicate like a human being or like an artist, right? Jack actually goes over this in one of his videos on the Subjectively channel with how to critique or even communicate as artists, because a lot of people, especially in the world of the internet, we get it, we don't know who or what anybody is like behind the curtain, so it's easier for someone to talk spicy, because like a lot of the way comments are left, you know damn well people wouldn't be leaving comments like that in real life, right, in person. So I always love to read comments, if it's aimed towards me or not, where there's a critique that actually teaches me about my own artwork, or like kind of if the person can explain what their direction and thought process is, right? I think very underrated. I agree. Squirrel Cat theme wise, I think it's one of the best and most creative. Chat, please do get mad at this. I honestly do get the appeal of Lucario. No one would get mad at that. Honestly, to me, the only bland type is rock ground. Like, they're just rocks and dirt. I do wish it was more concise into one. Lucario! What's up, Danny? Welcome in. Just started the Teal Mastery? Nice. Hello, Draco. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, I like Teal Mask a lot. I never played Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra. Okay, I'm not saying I would do this, but would you guys be interested in watching me play that DLC? Again, I'd rather play other games on stream. Now that I'm in Holiday Matsuri, there's no shot I can game at all. On stream, I just simply do not have the time. So rest in peace, that dream. But I suspect in January or something, I'll probably need to take some sort of break from streaming. I sort of got one last week, but again, you guys saw how much love and care went into that Halloween video. I did not, just because I got a break from streaming does not mean Like I still have that sore throat. Again, that was from the food poisoning, but probably also, let's be honest, from doing that wretched Dr. Broody. Oh, I can't do it anymore. The voice. Um, Purple, delete that, delete that. Why would you? You just heard that he's doing that. Delete that. You don't spoil it. Oh, did you finish it? The way you're responding. Anyway, let's always keep this a spoiler-free stream. We never know where people are at when they game. So I would love to. I'm gonna do like a formal decree. Before you do spoiler alert, please write spoiler alert or say, is everyone cool about talking about XYZ? Just because whether or not it's me or someone else, we just don't know if someone where they're at with it, right? Especially if they're just saying they finally just started on the Teal Mask story. So have that respect and just make sure we don't ruin things for people. Yeah. What if instead of playing the DLCs, you take the areas of DLC zones to make a couple of fake mon? That's interesting. That is interesting. And yeah, he's absolutely being agitated. Hey, Mr. Bonnie, is there a way to show you our fake mon designs to get your opinion on them? You can always share them on the Discord. I like periodically look at them. I don't necessarily comment on opinions on them just because there's so many fake mon. But I do play. You know what? Maybe that's what I can do. Maybe I will. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna kind of enact this into the world just so I can kind of like be on top of it. Let's I'm gonna make a section on the Discord where I'm gonna let you guys submit your guys' work, and I'll select. I can't obviously do all of them, but maybe it's something that I've been wanting to do something like this. So I guess the timing is good that you brought it up. Maybe it'll be something where I can like kind of do like a critiquing kind of thing. Maybe less actually redesigning and just, you know, straight up critiquing. That could be cool. Make that into a ROM hack or a fan game. That is true. There's a lot of those. I fear, chat, that by the time I was thinking about the one that I'm making myself, right? That's on indefinite hold for sure. Because again, I have like so much art to do now. But I wonder by the time Gen 10 comes out if there's any cool Pokemon in those games that I'll be able to kind of add to my top 6, right? I'd love that. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Did you see that Pokemon fan animation where it's nothing but... No, I have not. What was that like? You can share that in the Discord if you'd like. Yeah, I gotta admit it. Lucario is very cool. Like, it's kind of like a Charizard situation. Like, they're obviously popular Pokemon for obvious reasons. But then when you stop being a hater, right? Like, I used to be the biggest... I don't want to... Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was a Charizard hater. But, like, it makes sense why people like Charizard. What it comes down to is just being, you know, and I think it is valid to be annoyed that Charizard does get more love and, you know, attention than other counterparts, right? So much so that Charizard got like an extra mega form. That I think is a little unfair, right? Him getting a G-Max form, say before the other Kanto starters, I think that's also a little whack. And then just kind of crazy that he gets to just straight up be like one of the ace Pokemon for a gym, not just leader, right, but a champion in another region. So that is just wild. So like that's the only part of like, you know, that I don't like. But like as a creative, as someone who can see the big picture, it's more than understandable, right? Like it's like, yeah, no shit, we should do that. If I would like to submit a design to the news Discord section for critiquing, doesn't have to be a Fakemon. No, you could. There's like an art section in the submission. There's plenty of people who hop in there and you know give their 2 cents and whatnot. It's a really amazing community. I'll probably open up a channel tomorrow, and maybe I'll like close it in like a week, depending on the response. And it's not going to be a thing where I can't imagine going through every single one. So maybe it's something I do once a week, and I get like a month's worth of submissions. I'll ask for something like, please give me one, something like that. My least favorite Pokemon is XQ. Why? Or Axew. While my second least favorite, I don't like Shiinotic. I don't like that either. I think it's so ugly. Pikachu's my least favorite. I love Pikachu. Goated design. I've purposely been exploring streamers who are playing the beta test for Monster Hunter Wilds because I want to go in fully blind. Gotcha. I definitely want to get into the Steam beta test. For sure. I think it only opens in a couple of days, but I'm very curious to see. I don't see myself actually being able to play the game because again, I'll just be busy. I started playing Elden Ring last night, chat, finally. But even then, it was just for a little bit, and my friend was in the... Like, we've been watching Halloween movies to kind of get into the Halloween spirit. So we did that as we were watching Halloween movies. So Elden Ring certainly got that vibe. Would you ever do performative style Fakemon battle? Explain. I'm not quite tracking. Like performative style Fakemon battle. What do you mean performative? Like a YouTube video where I draw like a thing, or Shiinotic is so irrelevant. I don't know if I like that verbiage, irrelevant. I mean, many Pokemon can become irrelevant. Pokemon, by its virtue of designs of gotta catch 'em all, right? The tagline, which, you know, to be fair, hasn't been used in a while, is that there are a lot of Pokemon. And simply put, not everyone can be in a quote-unquote amazing design. Even then, that's subjective, because there's going to be plenty of people who love Shiinotic, and then there's going to be a few of us who don't like it. And that's the cool part about it, right? So I don't think irrelevant is the right word, because a lot of Pokemon, I would say like, what, 90% of Pokemon are irrelevant at the end of the day, right? It's open now. I think the PS5 one is open now, right? I don't think the Steam one is open, is it? Oh, do I have to like sign up or something? Am I screwed? My first favorite Pokemon is Pikachu. My second favorite is Meow. My third favorite is Lucario, but my recent favorite Gengar is awesome. The design I want to show you is a starter for a game outside of Pokemon where you obtain monsters by defeating lava and using their drops to make new monsters. Very cool. It's open now and it's limited time. Awesome. What did you think of Elden Ring? So, Draco, I'll tell you. I might have to turn off the messaging system as much as I loved it in Bloodborne. I say it not because I think it's a bad feature, but I say it as just a curious individual, especially in the beginning. Every step, I'm like, I want to read the little golden thing. It's like a cool part to have the community be a part of your journey. So I just found like it really slowed down my journey. Other than that, I think it's like way too early to say. Um, but like, you know, I can't really comment on the gameplay. Um, I got dropped into a hole, into like some tutorial world. So I'm just kind of doing that. I barely played. I was just chatting with my friend and going over like my build. I think I'm going to go over a Marshall build first. Just because I feel like that's the playstyle I resonate with most, having come from Bloodborne. If I ever did do a second playthrough, maybe that's where I can do like magic, right? All right, Lucario is done. Yo, this is looking legit. This is actually looking legit. All right, next up, is it going to be... I really don't like how this Jolteon's coming out. So, what I'm going to do... I might do Jolteon last. Let's do Mega Gallade, who came out sick. And then once I finish all the other guys, I'll like work on Jolteon on my own time and just kind of like sort that down. But okay, let me see here. It's open now in limited time, or to get invited into the beta playtest. At least for Pokemon is Lightbird, because they're annoying as all hell. There you go. So Chill is mentioning, and this is what's cool about Pokemon experiences, right? Like you might be able to, you know, you might be able to just say like, I don't like the design of a Pokemon, but it's really cool to also be like, oh, this Pokemon knocked out my Pokemon, or they were annoying in the overworld. Like, there's so many ways how like the designs or the nature of a Pokemon can annoy you. And it's cool because it varies so differently person to person, right? Shiinotic let me down due to its bad stats and overall missed potential design-wise. Morello has 2 new evolutions. Let down is an interesting thing. You chose to keep it, right? I do think the design is just, for me, it's just unappealing. Like, I don't really know what they were going for, but it's just, it didn't like, you could say a good design invokes a feeling in you, like, oh, I'm creeped out or it's scary. But to me, it just looks bad. That's just my opinion. I have a concept to do collaborations video, but I don't have following yet to pitch it. The idea is 2 Fakemon artists design 2 Mon for battle. It would end with who won you decided to the fans. The concept to do collaborate, but I don't have following yet to pitch it. The idea is 2 Fakemon artists designs 2. So it would be like a 2v2. That's interesting. And now, see, so I think that needs to be a little bit of workshop, but I think that's got so much cool potential. I guess, would it come down to, like, is it the audience choosing it? You could ask them to choose it based on, say, on the cooler designs, but cool is subjective. What if you chose a cute one? What if, you know, one person chooses a type that's strong against the type that the other guy chose? I'm assuming we'd have to like make it random typings, right? Like in such a prompt. But yeah, it just needs a little bit of workshopping, but I think there's a lot of cool stuff that could come out of it. But I don't know about the Steam beta test. I'll look into it. Let's see here. Save the stream to watch later so I can bet. Yeah, line art is its own thing. I've been kind of sharing tips as you guys ask questions. We had an individual apple pie. Again, if you guys have any questions about my process, like, you know, for me, I'm just vibing. I'm just chilling with you guys. This is fun for me. Hope you guys are enjoying too. Make sure you leave a like while you're here. Yeah, feel free to ask questions about line art. Otherwise, we'll just keep vibing and chatting. But um, yeah, I don't like galley tump wasting. Tell me about it. Awesome choice. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Looks like a diaper. 100%. It's a damn diaper. I have a grudge against Garchomp entirely makes it competitive. Things are usually choice banded. I know battle. I'm not good at that stuff, right? Also not a fan of Abra because I've encountered around 3 to 4 shinies to teleport. No way. Hello, Ollie. Welcome in. Looks super derpy and drips its cool factor. Yeah, I agree. My dog Deebs. What's up, Deebs? Welcome, welcome in. Bob Jam. Always with the fire nicknames. Oh, no one would actually win. It's more how so a rap battle does it. That's interesting. So, in that sense, a rap battle, though, it's up to, I guess, the writers, right? To kind of like get it to a place where it's enough like fire and heat, right? Where like somebody feels, well, meaning the audience feels like there was enough of an impression. This is another thing you're gonna see in line art chat, where you go like this, and you have to like erase the line a million times, right? So would they be voting on the design, say, based on like cool factor, or is it cute factor? Is it so I guess yeah, it wouldn't be type because that would be, but then knowing how people are, they're going to vote by type and ignore like such a prompt anyway. I'm not sure. Let me stretch real quick. Paul, are Pokemon a little creepy? Good. I'm glad they're meant to be. I agree with you, Thunder. I'm with you. All they needed to do was just get rid of the weird diaper. It's just weirdly, it just breaks the silhouette in such a weird way. How's everyone today? I'm doing well. Went out to get my pants tailored, and so hopefully they did a decent job. I'll pick it up tomorrow, and then later this week I'll be a godfather. Can't wait to think of favorite bosses. Yeah, I'm very curious to see them. I find it weird that the Toads in the Super Mario series are wearing diapers. I don't think they're wearing diapers, are they? I don't. What does their bottom half look like? I think it's supposed to look like harem pants. Because the idea is like the top half is kind of like a turban. They've got a vest. It's very bubbly pants, but because they're so short and the stylization makes their shoes so big, it makes it. I see what you mean, but they're not diapers. Funny enough. What if for the idea of the fake Mon Showdown, you surprise trade a box away and use attributes from the trades to make your designs? That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I would have each battle have a different theme. Starter. Oh, very cool. Dang, that's a battle of egos, huh? That's tough. That is tough. Infamous and Gerson? Who is that? I gotta say, these choices my brother made, they're all pretty cool Pokemon one way or another. You know? I opted for a little more variety from the Pokemon I chose. But yeah, that's the whole fun point about having custom art, right? Especially he himself asked for this for a birthday gift. So, you know, usually I buy him like a game or something. We like trade each other like games for birthdays. So this time around, he asked for art, and so this is way more expensive than any game. So, but obviously, I'm paying for it in time, which I am happy to do for my brother. What I will have to pay for is I will have to eventually go to the store, get a 16 by 20 inch frame, and then print out a physical copy of this and then frame it, and then I'll present it to him. So I'll take a photo with it and then I'll share it. Respect the line art grind. I should practice it more. Refined sketch is part of my style. It's a good skill. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, the thing with art, as you and, you know, hopefully everyone here comes to know, is that it never stops, right? So in this case, Ali, like, right now you've embraced the refined sketch as part of your style because that's what interests you, and that's what, and it's a combination of so many things, I'm sure. It's what's convenient, it's what interests you, it's what you think looks good, it's what makes you happy. So for example, something like this, I'm of the same way where, like, usually I kind of like, you know, I do refine my sketches 100%. And in fact, something like this I'm only doing because I'm emulating someone else's art style, right? So to me, it's less about like me being like a decent, I don't want to say decent person, but like along the lines of like I'm being diligent and practicing to be a better artist, which that comes with the territory, right? No matter what you're doing, if you're drawing and designing and illustrating, you're always ahead of the curve. Okay? I don't like shiny Regice because it sort of looks the same. Yeah, those are the worst shinies by far, right, chat? If you do more polymer Pokemon, can one be a mix of Aggron and Tyranitar? That to me sounds more like a general fusion. The polymers, while it's true that it is fusions, I select them to be more like gothic horror, traditional classic kind of monsters. And they fit the narrative, right? That of the story I'm trying to sell. So in the case of this last Halloween episode, again, comment on the video if you haven't already. The idea was that we're watching one of Broodie's polymers from last year. I'm not going to spoil it in case you guys haven't seen it. You know, coming back for revenge, right? And there were some creatures that, you know, worked in the context of, again, the gothic kind of, and even just, you know, classic horror kind of approach, and how it kind of fits, right? So I don't think this is spoilers because it's the first one, but for example, me choosing the Scarecrow for the first one, thematically, it was more, or excuse me, it was more of a narrative choice that Dr. Broody knew something was coming after him and was immediately like, okay, I've got to set up wards and sentries. Let me create, you know, these scarecrows because I got to create defense measures. But then again, I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it. And again, even if you have, go back and comment. Helps the algorithm. Yeah, this diaper thing is ridiculous, Gallade. Somebody needs to change your pants. I can't believe they sat there and were like, we're just gonna give him inflatable donut tube. Oh my god. But yeah, ultimately, you know what? I'm gonna give him a BBL surgery, reverse BBL. There we go. BBL Gallade. BBL Galley. So yeah, so narratively the polymers I choose for a specific reason, and then conversely thematically in the case of the polymers, there was like how I connected, and this is not a spoiler because I worked on them, but the Mr. Mime and Lycanroc fusion, there was like a reason why I chose them, right? So yeah, let's see here. Combining the idea of themes and traits, where you choose one attribute from each trait and 6 attribute per Fakemon and the 6 Fakemon. Oh, now it's getting a little too confusing for me. I also don't like Shiny Gengar. Shiny Gengar is awful. Shiny Gengar Mega, great. Shiny Garchomp, awful. Salad is a combination of, yeah. And so, you know, that's why style is such a bad word in my chat. As, you know, most of chat knows. I do not like that word just because it's something that I've seen a lot of people kind of hide behind, especially in my college career. And you know, if I ever get to that point where I really do teach college art or anything else, I'm going to shut that stuff down early, because I have seen way too many people, you know, essentially hide behind that word style, you know, so as to say, oh, I couldn't finish the assignment because, you know, it's not my style, or like, you know, they produce a piece of work that wasn't what the professor asked for because of style. And again, that's not how art college works. A professor and your peers don't care if you can't do it. You learn to do it because that's what that class is there for. Whether or not it's you emulating a style or breaking out of your comfort zone. When people say it's my style, and to me it just reads, maybe not necessarily you're lazy, but more like you're not willing to adapt. And that is going to be a weakness in the long term, especially if you're trying to do art as a career, right? Excuse me. Want to get into clean liner for potential merch making? Yes, I mean, yes and no, Ollie. It depends on what you're trying to do. Like, I've seen plenty of cool stylized stickers, for example, that a lot of people, you know, I'll be working on sticker designs, and you know, you're not wrong there, where like I will be working on, yeah, an even more cleaner kind of style for sure. But ultimately, I guess it depends on the line of merch you're trying to get into, right? The cool thing is, especially say it's something like Holiday Matsuri where I'll be tabling, people are there to support the artist. It's such a cool and beautiful thing. And then you realize, like, oh yeah, much of the world is trying to, when they can, support artists, right? So if your work kind of looks a certain kind of way, then so be it, right? But you know, I'm not trying to discourage you, just trying to put you at a little more of an ease, because it's not necessarily make or break. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see you and anyone else who's, you know, participating in this conversation learn to break out of the comfort zone, right? Conversely, I've seen people who in a day, I don't see it anymore, it was like in my younger days where people were like trying to, you know, I'm sorry to say it like this, but get attention. They like swap up their art style in a day and be like, yeah, this is how I draw now. And it's like the most arbitrary, like, okay, I guess it's something. So to each their own. This art journey is a long road. Enjoy it, you know? There's no finding your style. It's not you drew for like 5 days and then, you know. Nice to meet you all. Well, hello, Foxy. Love that latest vid. Thank you, Ali. Your drawing is amazing. 10 out of 10. Thank you, Foxy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It looks like Infernape's pretending to hold a video game controller. No, that is a drunken boxing fighting style. It was so cool when insert name here showed up. I want to know who you're talking about. Could you consider... Oh, consider you already did Bloodborne. Would it be okay to say... Yeah, I mean... Yeah, because I don't think people would even know the names of the Bloodborne characters. So I think it'd be okay. Right? Listen, Galate's donut pelvis is just trying to avoid the question of the groin region. Baby, you're saying that Loch Ness Monster is next? Ooh, that would be a fun one. Although it's not really a horror monster, right? Return for the Abyss. Welcome in, Rosa. Dr. Broody was playing a Fortress game with the scariest POV. Comment on the Halloween video. I want everyone to comment on the Halloween video. Thank you so much if you do. Will you do us a favor and remove his diaper? I've been like, as you guys have been seeing, I've been making his diaper smaller and smaller. OG Shiny Gengar was good. I don't remember what that looked like. I'd gladly take a shiny that looks like a Dookie over a shiny that barely. Yeah. Style is a bad word. I also feel people like get stuck on trying to create their style. Like, yeah, exactly. Style is the cool part about style is it is a. I like the verbiage of just putting these words together, so it's not true when I say this, but I was going to say an unholy matrimony. That's not true. But the idea of style, right, is that, oh, wait, I tweaked. So in reality, I've got to make, oh, why is it not updating? PC screen capture. Oh, there we go. So it turns out Galade's flipper blade thingy cuts like this. So I gotta like... And you know what? Even if there were mistakes, it's still cool because it's custom art. And just like old Magic the Gathering cards or even like misprints of like famous books, sometimes there's value in misprints and whatnot, like false details. But yeah, I want to like go off on this style thing just because it is something that like has entirely triggered me for sure. Hopefully this whole time I was streaming. I wonder. Oh, look, when I do that, you got, oh, interesting. Okay, interesting. Gotta like try at least. Styles of river should change over time. I don't know if river is the right analogy for me, but conforming to a style sucks. My style is finishing a piece that I'm proud of and had fun doing. In the professional world, you would be told, exactly, absolutely. Also, when taking classes, you kind of have to follow the rules of working on your fundamentals. Exactly. That's why I even hesitated to be like, oh, choose to work on the style that they asked you to do. It's more like, do the fundamentals. So if someone's like, oh, I'm not going to shade because it's my, against my style. Bitch, just say you don't know how to shade and just actually try to shade. You might be good at it. Or you might literally need to work on it. Like, it's crazy to me that people, the hell? Oh no! Why? Excuse? Let me close this. And you know what? I think it must have realized I started ranting. Oh, there we go. Let's see here. When taking classes, you kind of have to follow the rules. Absolutely. I've only taken a handful of life drawing classes, one of my favorites. I'm just trying to do cartoons while doing... Exactly. In your Halloween episode when he said it's borking time, yeah, and then he borked all over the place. That's what I'm saying. iPad died on 7%. No. Ludwig, Abritius, Cleric Beast, Vicar Amelia, and Amygdala. So I'll tell you this, Draco. It's been years since I played, so none of them register with me. But thank you for sharing, of course. I feel like Professor Brody... You mean Dr. Broody or Professor Bodhi? Would be shocked to meet new Pokemon from a new region that he's never... Of course, anyone would, right? Your devices tell you to shut up. Low key. So, yeah, all I'm asking is, especially in this channel and this server and stuff, like, I always just want to see people... Hey, I really did kind of give up. Now his booty is a lot more manageable. I think. No, it's still a little... Look, this booty on the left side is too big. And I even copy-pasted it. Okay, that's a little better. Um, but I'm gonna give him his cape, and we'll get to Garchomp. So last time you guys did not see the process on Garchomp, and he came out really good. Or wait, did I do Garchomp and he came out so ugly? Do oh, that's ugly. Okay, nice. Magagaly's butt is mega big. You know, it has its own gravity. Wait, what if? And you know, if Gardevoir wants to, she likes a big butt. It's what she gets. All right, so we got Gallade is done. Ew, this line looks so bad. Let's be intentional. Good, much better. Have you played any of the Dark Souls? I have not. I do want to play it, but at this point, I think it's a little too late. Okay, so now we have Garchomp. There goes the big boy in the back. Gravitational pull, I know, right? Let's do this. I think what I'll do tomorrow on my own time. Oh, let me announce this. Maybe Gardevoir is jealous. Maybe. Where do you find the Mega Gallade Arasite? I don't know what Arasite is. But so I want to talk about expectations and whatnot, and this goes way back early to this conversation, chat, about expectations, and that, you know, essentially, and again, I won't go into the reasons. It's hard to say. We can't really predict it. But, you know, I would essentially call the Halloween and the Ben 10 video, both of them kind of flopped. So it's kind of I had to reevaluate how I'm going to push out content moving forward. It's never too late. I think you're right. What I mean to say is I already have so much on my plate gameplay wise. Like, I want to play Hades. I want to play Ni no Kuni. I've been wanting to play forever, chat. You guys know this. But yeah, I won't be doing a Ben 10 Part 4. I probably won't be. I'm not even gonna like worry about like the Halloween video for next year. That's way too far out. I'm just gonna focus on the foreseeable future. So, but basically, I had a. So I'll just reveal two cool things, three cool things. So I was planning on doing, I had already done one redesigning your Pokemon videos. Like, you know, people have done that before, but, you know, like, I get to do my take and brand on it. And the first one I think is like at 7K views, which isn't bad for my channel for sure. Christmas regional forums, I don't think so. Like I said, I think I'm burnt out from this last Halloween one, and like, I simply put, like, as much as I have I want to be able to work on stuff that is a return on my investment, right? Especially, say, my energy and my time, of which I just simply don't have as much, right? So, oh yeah, you know what? The line work here really kind of registers as like Sugimori to me. So with as much work I put into the Halloween video, and maybe less so, say, as far as like having to set up the template and all that stuff for the Ben 10 video, it's still time and energy that I have to, put in that is not like returning to me, right? As much, even if I enjoy the process, I still like, I have to still respect my time and my energy. So I'm going to cancel the Ben 10 Part 3. And then or Part 4, or like the villain one. And then I had planned for because I had done a redesigning my viewers' Pokemon. So I went ahead and did that. Because I was like, that is something that I think people want to see. And I enjoyed that one. So I decided, okay, I can do a part 2. And one of the Discord prompts, if you recall, was a Gmax prompt. So I was like, oh, I'll do one where I'm like redesigning the Gmax forms. And I put that on hold just because I was working on a lot of different things, but I'd always been working on the designs. So I asked permission from a few more artists if I could redesign their Gmax forms, and that was underway. And I was like thinking, oh, okay, like I think that'll like at least perform decent, but now I'm not sure. So rather than like putting time into, say, Pokemon videos, I'd rather do these streams where like I practice my line work. I'm creating content that, in this case, is art for my brother that's meaningful. I'll be creating posters and other creations that I need to get done regardless. So rather than, say, doing that on my own time, I can spend time hang out with you guys like I've been doing today. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, ultimately, that's kind of the announcement. I'm just gonna kind of take and low-key, I realized, I think that's why I kind of did a hiatus from videos last time, because of the same thing where I was getting burnt out creating work that just ultimately wasn't necessarily like fulfilling, but also, again, like the return on investment that I was hoping, but yeah, the top half of Cali feel like it's kind of big compared to the lower half. You might be right, but here's the thing. There's going to be Jolteon there, so that's why, to me, that area is probably underdeveloped because a Pokemon is going to go there. So we won't really see that part of the Pokemon there. I will adjust it as needed. If parts of Gallade need to appear in the background, but you might be right. But yeah. Let's see. I'm cool with that. Love the redesign video. Terra Leak beta forms would be popular right now. Not sure how long it'll last. I consider that as well. But once again, I feel like I'd be scrambling to do what I've seen a lot of other, for example, more so Instagrammers and stuff have done. And like, I'd be, as you were saying, timing wise, racing against the clock to get this out, which would be me putting effort into something that's going to be popular for a little bit, instead of like giving my time to more important stuff for right now. Following trends might be a headache, but it is like one of the more smarter things to do all at the same time. But like, yeah, I just don't necessarily want to, GMAX Challenge was the first one I took place in. But yeah, no, it's okay, Rosa. I appreciate that. I think Megaforms will do well because of ZA. Yeah. But yeah, ultimately, Yeah, at the end of the day, I'll always, prioritize my time and energy. Like always, the week of like a video, like I find I stream less because I have so much to do. Um, and yeah, I just find that I want to protect that peace, that time, that energy. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna probably just like I did last time, just kind of slow down and just focus more on um, streaming, and then also I will say um, I am um, participating two more collabs. They keep coming. I'm lucky and blessed to put in this time and energy and effort that my contemporaries believe in me. Uh, yeah, usual quality. I mean, I think the Halloween one went above and beyond. So I was very proud of that turnout. But yeah, like I can't just help, of course, but hope that more people saw it or commented or told me it was this or that or the other. Um, but even interactions were lower than usual, which makes me think it wasn't as good enough. Um, which is fine. People express their opinions however they want, and non like commenting is action, and then not feeling inspired to comment is also an action. So I have to sit and think, like, how do I make it engaging? Like, where do I put the call to arms? Whatever it is. um they love me, they really love me. Yeah, I mean, I just I'm just continually trying to earn my place and keep my place, but even then, I'm not in a way I'm thinking like, oh, I'm chopped liver if I don't keep up. um I will say one will be on my channel, so while I am talking a little you know gloom and doom about videos on the channel, it's just not my priority. But since the last one did so damn well, people were asking about it. I think it makes sense for me to invest in something like that. So um, you guys will very much enjoy those people that'll be showing up. And then the other collab, which will be on another person's um, channel. You just saw the Halloween one I did with Ron. Like, arguably, in my opinion, some of my favorite and best designs I've ever done. But this new collab, while it's Pokemon related, I'm happy to tease that it is to some degree unlike anything you've ever seen me submit to a prior collab. What just happened? What do you mean? So please look forward to it. It's going to be really awesome. I've basically been working on those designs while I've been kind of like coming down from the ramped up level of work I was putting for the Halloween special. So yeah, like I said, I am just so excited to share that work. It's gonna be a while though. Bonnie finally drew a Digimon. I would love to, and I feel like I could easily come up with a Digimon I would really like, and maybe Rec can kind of tell me here, and in general, all the Digimon fans. Oh, so speaking of which, probably just an internet, gotcha. The people who I did say that I was going to redesign the Gmax video, since those aren't going to be in its own video, I've already worked on those designs. I'm going to just redesign them on stream. Because at this point, yeah, it's just, I don't think it's worth the time and energy to make it like a full video. I want to test out, if you guys recall, this is kind of like the perfect timing for it. I think that that kind of stuff might really work well for YouTube Shorts, where if I redesign, fan designs in like snippets, that's like way easier to engage in at a time, especially now that it's bumped up to 3 minutes. I still think I would keep it to 1 minute. But yeah, so look forward to that. Very much a Digimon fan. I think I totally got. So I think I'd be fine with the Digimon conventions, but I'm just curious as to what it is exactly. What makes a Digimon, right? Like, part of it is the progression, and I really don't want to sit there and make like a 4-stage line. Maybe you know what it is? Maybe I make my own starter Digimon. Maybe that could be like a fun, cute prompt. But see, if I did that, I'd want to make a marketable plushie and then not freaking make them a Digimon. I'd want to just make them an original Bonny character. Because I know I'd make a fire design. You know? We know it's going to be some sort of like shark creature. No worries, creative. Take care, okay? Curious on your opinion on what? Took on a bit too much. Yeah, I absolutely got burnt out. That's what it was. If it weren't again for that like food poisoning, I feel like I would have been like wallowing a little more on Saturday after actually, I mean, it's not like I was watching the video. I've also been in a very bad mood because my Yankees have been getting fucking obliterated in the World Series, and I don't want to talk about it because I'm gonna be upset. That sucks because we've been waiting 15 years for this. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna do the YouTube Shorts. I think that'll be a fun way to like get that out. Personally would love if you worked on your own project more, but it's hard to get views. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, Oni. I'm not gonna lie, like I have very much been freaking out about doing Zotempo videos because Zotempo is its own thing. And if Ben 10 and Pokemon can like barely get like, did it break like 2K views even? And then the Halloween is special, right? Right now it's the spooky time where everyone's putting Halloween videos and people are checking it out. Horror people love fusions, people love horror and Halloween and all that stuff. And for that video, I really went, in my opinion, above and beyond the usual fare and told a story, and I put so much care into crafting the narrative and creating the atmosphere and the environment with the music and the sound effect, and start to finish just making an experience. And so if it's not like necessarily the content at hand, right, either say Pokemon or Ben 10, or the seasonal excitement, like what shot does Zotempo have? Happy Halloween, Benjamin. So, feel your pain regarding the Yankees, lifelong fan. The first thing my daddy put me in, Yankee onesie out of the hospital, out of Queens Hospital in New York. So I'm really bummed. Now, never say never, but being down 0-3 in a series never looks good. I don't even want to talk about this so. It's a different demographic. You need to focus on the indie community. Yeah, I think you're right. And even then, like, how do you pivot, quote unquote, this late? Is it worth it? Like, I mean, I think for what's the word, posterity? I should still probably put it out. Just to at least have it in, the records that I did something. But obviously, I still want to shop out Zotempo. Like, YouTube does not make or break my Zotempo project. 100%. So, okay, let's see here. Since Digimon a lot of the time is less, this could be your friend and more how badass and how can we make this creature? Oh, okay, that's fair. One thing with Digimon is more often than not, Digimon partners meant as a perfect complement to their Digidestined. They pick up the slack. Oh, I like that. It's not pivoting, it's branching out. I love that with the sparkles. Thanks, Rosa. When you word it like that, it does sound better. But yeah, it's all stuff that I'm trying to figure out still, you know? It is very much always going to be a work in progress. And I don't mean to like sound whiny, but again, I guess as I was saying earlier, it's just maybe a little combination of both venting and ranting just a little bit. I'm not here blaming the algorithm or this, that, or the other. But just more than anything, again, as I said before, protecting my peace, protecting my energy, making sure, you know, I work on the things that bring me happiness and, you know, represent long-term or even short-term growth. You know, like I want to just see something out of it. Like if I put care into something, right? I forgot. I could just erase like this. So, what would be your Digimon partner? I'd want to make, like a shark guy. Otherwise, maybe I'd want Terriermon. I've always thought he was so cute and adorable. And I like the fire guys, like it's not fire. The final guy's got like Gatling gun. Thought that was sick. Take Care Ninja. Already made a deadline to share a trailer for my project. That's true, and I did have timelines to finish certain things, but I've just become so busy with life. You know, this baptism coming up, and then the holiday Matsuri thing. Like, it's one thing to work on my project that might lead to something, which is very important. But then with holiday Matsuri, I'm creating art that people can buy. And if I'm going to manufacture and print these things, they need to be of the best quality. So I need to like start and work on that stuff now. You know, make sure it's all good. But then also I realized something too. I worked on Zotempo the entire summer, chat. So it kind of makes sense that, here, let's get rid of this. Yo, this is looking really, really good. Yeah, I'm very happy with this so far. So yeah, Tentamon is ago. I do love me some Tentamon. Keep in mind that there is some crossover between Pokemon fans and indie games. After all, yeah, absolutely. It sucks when something you don't get a lot of engagement. Yeah, it's one thing if the Ben 10 one flopped. Like, I did that one for you guys. You guys love Ben 10 and taught me so much, and I wanted to say thank you, of course, you know, for all the support. So that was the Ben 10. But then the Halloween one, like, I didn't even stream. I had no time to stream. And it's doing better, don't get me wrong, than say the Ben 10 one. But like, yeah, I was hoping like it would get a little more love, you know? And you know, when it doesn't, you know, you're like thinking like, dang, like you really put yourself out there. So if it doesn't get the kind of feedback or viewership you're hoping, I'm just drawing out Garchomp's legs here. Again, just like with Gallade's latter half, it doesn't have to necessarily be super accurate. Gallade might need to be, but we have Jolteon coming here, so it'll kind of like, you know, alter that space. So we'll kind of get to it when we get to it. It's kind of basic, but my first exposure to Digimon was the original anime. No, it's not basic. I mean, it's such a good anime. I loved it so much. I'd love to see you take your Shark Dog ID and apply to the rookie level, not the awkward. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I was the first thing I thought of. I've made some sort of like secondary shark torpedo head type of mascot-y dude, and he feels like he could be a Digimon, but I have to go classic and say Agumon. Agumon's classic goat, yeah. Shiny Greymon, or Shine Greymon. I gotta see that at some point. Looking clean, thank you. My partner has the evolution to a line of energy. The base is more ADHD, involving fossil fuels. Nice. Blitz Greymon, I don't know what this one is either. Okay, so finally, the last thing I need to do is Jolteon, who ends up looking really bad. So, okay. With all of these guys, I've written over a novel's worth of words, so the engagement is minimal. I'm not mad it's niche. Yeah, no, 100%, right? Like, I think what's important here is that, like, for both of us and for anyone who's listening, right? At the end of the day, like, obviously I created the Ben 10 Pokemon for you guys, right? Because I know you guys liked it, but like, I've come to enjoy it just because of the way we conversate about it. And you guys educate me and teach me. And then I had so much fun creating the art, right? Like, both on stream where I'm like, you know, learning about the designs and choosing the mons. And then afterwards, there was a fun time where I was like, oh, I think I can like change up some of the options, and I think this might be a better fit, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like excited and curious for everyone to see. Based on what I've learned, I could share these designs. So no matter what, it's very valid for us to feel maybe whatever it is, right? Be it mad, sad, frustrated, annoyed. But at the end of the day, like, I think the most important thing is I did have fun making the art for the Ben 10 designs, right? Like, that's like my only takeaway. But I'm still also allowed to say, be annoyed that it didn't do well at all. Like, it was a complete flop. So I'm just going to kind of take on my projects a little more carefully. You know, we'll see from there. That's kind of the main thing, you know? We're absolutely allowed to feel frustrated. And then, like, conversely, all of this is also part of the process, right? Like, I would never have, well, I don't want to say never dreamed, but like, I always believe in myself. There's that. But that one collab video I put out is now nearing 100,000 views. It's 10K away. And that's amazing. You know, like, I believe in myself to believe that I could reach those numbers. You know, don't get me wrong. But it's still surreal and something that I'm like kind of reveling in, you know? So you can't help but also feel like some expectation, right? Oh, wow, the other video did so well. And there's reason for it, right? So you're gonna be like, all right, this Ben 10 video, it's gonna do like not as good, obviously, but surely it's got to do something. And then it doesn't. You're like, oh crap, what should I do? And then I'm like, all right, well, the timing is I put out this video. A week later, Halloween video. It's the Halloween season. Surely this, and then nothing happens. You're like, oh crap. I think Digimon works best as a TV show. The Digimon games I played were never that good. The card game's really complicated too, but the anime was peak. I've not played the game, so I can't comment on it. You can save this? In what way? It also works really well evolved from Rise Greymon. Dang, there's a lot of Greymons. The hell? It's okay to be disappointed with something. Yeah. Yeah, and so um, I guess the lesson here is I don't want anyone to give up. I don't want anyone to, you know, do this, that, or the other. Just stay on your course no matter what. Yeah, just like kind of learn to evaluate. Agree with that? Yeah. Learn to evaluate, learn how to be. Um, I think also a very important thing that I don't see a lot of people do sometimes. In fact, I've seen a lot of cringy kind of posts from like other artists that I might know tangentially from other people. A lot of artists and creators absolutely can be locked in like a self-defeatist lifestyle. Seen a lot of people cry and whine about, like, say, an algorithm, for example, right? And that might be valid to some degree, but I've seen people who try to use their sadness to like guilt people into this, that, or the other, and like I've seen people who are like, "I'm never gonna draw again," blah 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 blah, and get super dramatic, looking for validation from, at the very least, maybe their close friends, if not like some sort of audience. But art in itself is like an ever increasing and always has been competitive field, right? Okay, how do I draw this Jolteon's legs? I kind of want him to be like maybe outstretched like this. You know what? I guess what I'll do, I'm just gonna get the head in and I'll figure out the body because I know it's at the bottom of the comp. So let's do body like this. It's 8:43 now. Okay, so let's do this. We'll start wrapping up. We're at just about 3 hours in streaming, actually. I'm gonna start getting in my my background. So okay, looks cool. Trainer file Luke, yada yada yada. I mean, that does look pretty damn good, right? I want to scoff what that video did. That video is still fourth of your sub count. There are multiple channels. Yeah, that is true. It's important to have perspective. I'm only speaking negatively on myself, so thank you for saying that. But I'm only speaking negatively on myself because, like I said, I'm coming off of finishing a Halloween video that like I put so much love and care and energy into. But it is what it is. Like we just get right back up. Looks awesome, thank you. I'll have to fix Luke's hand or this arm. That looks kind of bad. Gallade, yeah. So since Gallade's body is kind of visible, we will need to adjust the bottom half. I think what I'll do tomorrow, chat, is I kind of want to maybe start coloring this bad boy. And actually what I'll do, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna do something real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna close here. Wow, it took so long. Dude, do you guys realize how long it's going to take for me to line that Pokemon piece? It's not just the hand, it's the elbow looks weird. Yeah, exactly. It's all fixable. It's all like, what we're working on now. So probably around my age, probably. No, he's turning 30, so I'm gonna close that. I think his first game was Gen 4, so that's not right. PC screen capture. Okay. So there we go. So we're on the PC now. I know. I'm gonna show you guys. So okay, that looks pretty damn good to me. Next thing I'm gonna show you guys. So eventually we're gonna line this on stream, which is like, I don't know how long it's going to take. You know what? It might. Let's be honest. It may take. It may not take as long. Just because, like for example, this scene in the middle with the starters, that'll take time. I've got to give a lot of, you know, love to among the most important Pokemon. But, you know, for example, I could kind of just quickly, I don't want to say rush through it, but like these won't take a lot of time. Right? Metapod and all these kind of Pokemon. I'm really excited to work on this. So that's another thing. I can't show you a few things on my computer screen, but I will show you. Like I said, I have 2 collabs coming up, so that's going to be very exciting. It's still a lot, I know. I'm an insane person. I also updated this poster. I may or may not line this on stream again. So I did a crazy thing. So this was the lines before, and they came out good. Love me how little space there is. Yeah, I had a friend tell me she felt that maybe everything was a little too close, and she preferred the other one. I was like thinking, oh, am I going in the wrong direction? But the thing is, I think that's what I kind of want to do. It's like evolving that minimalism yet abstract, and just making it feel like this flying pieces of puzzles all clashing into the middle. So I'm just gonna go through with it regardless. But anyway, looking at this, if you guys recall, what's up, Jay? Welcome in, Mod Jay. Good to see you. Looking at this, I will say we had kind of like, at the very least, right, not properly lined it. This was a second draft, technically, because I lined it over my, you know, one of the more finished kind of attempts. It was always going to be redone. When I came back to this piece, because it's good to give things, you know, a chance to sit. You know, you guys are telling me it looks great, looks awesome, and I agree. But the more I looked at it, the more I disliked it, chat. So, for example, this area in the middle, jigsaw puzzle, oh my god, and yeah, both would actually be. So I'm going to actually color right between the layers so you can see. This section right here is muddled in such an ugly way. I mean that in the sense that Mario and Sonic should be kind of like your middle point. I wins, like as from my mic, or someone lose their trash can? What the? So anyway, you can see Pac-Man. I put Pac-Man right under Sonic and Mario to make them like the Holy Trinity. But putting characters with contrasting colors together, so every character, I will just say that will be a nightmare logistically trying to figure that out, like color-wise. But smart idea. But here's the thing: I have an easy way, not easy way. Shading and lighting is what's going to let each character stand out in some capacity. But I think the idea is not for anyone to stand out, but everyone to kind of merge on this battlefield in the same way that Pokemon poster is going to be colored. That said, this composition, it didn't land just because I do want a central spot for your eye to go, right? If you get this poster, you will likely look in the middle. And I realize Mario and Sonic needs to probably be, I kind of off-centered them a little bit. Um, but it doesn't make sense. Sounds like the trash can's going further and further away. Chat, is what Rose is saying, is this a similar experience for anybody? I hope the town's okay. But here is the now updated. I cannot begin to tell you. First of all, doing this version, right, of all the various versions that I've done of this piece, right? Like, this looks fine. When you look at it, I think it looks great, actually. Obviously, for my own personal taste, eventually I needed to just buff up, certain elements of characters, their hair, their expressions. There was like inconsistencies with the eyes and the teeth and the highlights. But yeah, Pac-Man ends up looking like the center, which I don't mind because he's like the grandfather of gaming, next to Mario and whatnot. But like, there's a nice like trifecta in the middle. But even then, it still feels like slightly like off center. It's nice. It's fine. It does sound windy. What? Oh my god! I wish you guys told me sooner. Ollie writes, "What's your process for finishing bigger pieces? I've coughed 200 in progress canvases." Yeah, I'm the exact same way. I have a million illustrations. I mean, I think ultimately, let's be honest, like I'm saying this with love. If we jump, and I say this from experience, if we jump to the next thing, there's multiple reasons for sure, right? But we weren't inspired enough to finish it. Could we just maybe interesting? I don't know. I have like a couple of filters on too. Hold on one second. Let me try. Modern. Okay, this is the right one. So I'm going to go into microphone filters, paste filters. All right, hopefully this is. Oh shit! No, this isn't good. Hold on. I'm gonna fix this. Paste. Okay. Now can we do? Can we get the JoJo screen? Of course. Um, but okay, let me know if that actually makes it a little better. Yeah, okay, so I will show you. And so, what Ollie was saying, how long does it take the process? It is literally just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, presenting the now updated, this was the old one. We're good. It does sound better, right? I hope. Just really love that art. Me too. So, this is now the updated lines. So I've made it. I've made a number of changes. For one, this center is so much stronger. So, for example, now in the center, you have like an even, like instead of like a big three, it is even more pivotal characters, right? Mario, Sonic, Pac-Man, Luigi, Link, Cloud, right? Final Fantasy being such a iconic long-lived franchise alongside with Link. Um, there is a better sense of flow in this version. I got to honor a little more characters too. So Yoshi is here. Game and Watch is here. Jigglypuff is here. Isabelle, I moved to the top. Kirby has a more prominent space here. Here's Samus, DK, and there's like what feels like a better sense of a kind of like a more storied rivalry. So Samus is across Solid Snake now, right? Both are like, you know, amazing like battlefield warriors, right? One's like a galactic um bounty hunter, the other is like a mercenary um in a more like, you know, modern like warfare. Kirby uh gains powers, so does Mega Man. Link is this epic swordsman, Cloud is an epic swordsman. I put Fox at the bottom. I wanted to put Fox up in the front line because he's like such a um, storied Smash character. So I put him across like more animal kind of um, mascots. So there's kind of like a vibe there as well. Um, DK and Simon are more eye level. Um, yeah, little by little, there's like a lot of fun stuff over here. Um, there are certain characters that, you know, I might have like moved, but overall, I think there's absolutely a better sense of flow. Um, and yeah, so I'll be redoing this line on stream at some point as well. Cloud and Link outfit swap would be fire. Did you all hear about Xenoblade Chronicles X finally being announced for Switch? And then Rosa writes, ugh. Rosa, do you not like Xenoblade Chronicles X? I don't know what that is, but I'm happy for. Is that like a sequel? Xenoblade Chronicles. Because there was three, right? Xenoblade Chronicles 3. But then I don't know what the X is. Is that like the next one in the. All right, we'll put Kazuya. Oh, see, I'm still kind of like moving people, but essentially, yeah, I think it's like absolutely um near its best, you know, form yet. Um, and so another thing, so as I was saying, you just have to continually, um, you know, just whittle away. I ended up, you know, from the previous lines, I had to cut every single. I don't even know how many characters there are in here. So if anyone wants to even count that, you can. But I made them all individual layers, and you know, I just move them as I need to. You know, because that's how you'll eventually, you know. Xenoblade X was a side game that came out between one. Oh wow! So it never released? Is this like the first time you guys are getting to play that game? Um, why did they randomly announce it today? Was there like a Xenoblade event that I didn't know about, or like some sort of anniversary? Sister Wives thing? What is Sister Wives thing for Xenoblade? Anyway, it is now 9:01 p.m. chat. I'll probably call it here. I do again think this is like the best version of this. Um, I guess I'll call it. Hope you had a wonderful time. Just wanted to show you where I was at with this one. Um, I'm also, you know, glad Yoshi's here too. Yoshi's an OG one. I'm glad Jigglypuff made it back here as well. I'm gonna make Nest just a tiny bit smaller. But yeah, with SQ closing, you just can't get the full game. What is SQ? Bowser? Yeah, can't please everyone. So I'm very pleased with this. I worked very hard on this. So yeah, ultimately, I will be working on this on stream. That plus that huge Pokemon. Yes, like as you go. I'll be doing that Pokemon poster. That's going to be an insane one. I still don't know what I want to do, or I have a couple of ideas for like a trilogy set of posters. Um, but um, yeah, I find that yes, drink stretch hand. I should have done that for sure earlier, but I appreciate it. Um, there's plenty of stuff to do in November. I have so much to catch up on as far as work for the convention chat. So, please stick by and look forward to that work. Um, Eventually, I want to get back into Zotempo stuff so bad. In fact, I'm very excited to take a break from it because I think that um, I needed a break from it. Not that I was burnt out, but it gives me a chance to come back with like fresh pair of eyes, you know? Um, but okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you as always. Make sure you leave a like. If you haven't already, please go back into the Halloween episode and leave a comment. I'd greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. As always, I appreciate your